This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.
Plano East Panthers football is on SportsSoundsRadio.com. This broadcast of Plano East Panthers football is sponsored by Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America, and Appliances on Main Street in downtown Allen, serving the folks of Collin County for more than 50 years. By Buford Roofing and Construction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. By Flat Shell Auto Service and Repair Center on Preston Road at I-635. Plano ISD football is a presentation of SportsSoundsRadio.com.
It's been 2 weeks since the Plano East Panthers were under the Friday night lights last, and on that night the Panthers fell 42-7 to one of the top teams in the Metroplex in the Plano West Wolves. Following a week off, Joey McCullough's Plano East squad is back on the gridiron and hungry for their second district win as they face the McKinney Boyd Broncos. Hello everybody, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan. It is an absolute picture-perfect night for high school football at Kimbrough Stadium in Murphy, Texas. 75 degrees, clear blue skies. The sun is setting on a terrific night. Just a slight breeze out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Well, Plano East comes in tonight 1-3 overall, 1-1 in district. And while McKinney Boyd, they enter with a 2-3 mark, a 1-2 record in district with losses to Allen and Plano West, perhaps the two top teams within the district. And Eli, both these teams coming in tonight placing a lot of importance on keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, no doubt about that. District 6-6A, Reagan, is such a difficult district. We've talked about this all season long, but 6-6A, a 9-team district, that's almost unheard of when it comes to Texas high school football. You've got Allen, who of course sits atop the district at 5-0. They're 3-0 in 6-6A. But right behind them, you've got Plano West, a team we're very familiar with. They're at 4-0, 2-0 in district. And then right after that, you've got Flower Mound Marcus and Plano both at 2-1 in the district. Of course, it's going to be very interesting what will happen as far as these teams jockeying for position. Way down at the bottom, you've got Hebron, a Brian Brazel-led team that's 0-5, and nobody saw that coming. But they are on the outside looking in at this point. Really would have to rip off some kind of special streak to have any chance. But Flower Mound, McKinney Boyd, of course, we'll see them here tonight. They're 1-2 in district, but that's a very, very good football team we're going to see here tonight.
The key storyline surrounding Plano East this week, Miklos Smalls, their quarterback, who had been named the starter 2 weeks ago against Plano West. He suffered a broken bone in his hand, had surgery last week, suffered that injury in the Plano West game. They've turned now to Miles Thompson, and a guy that is the trigger man, a guy that has some experience at that position.
Yeah, Miles Thompson, certainly no stranger to playing Friday night. He's been very, very solid, 5'11", 175-pound junior. He's referred to as a student of the game by his head coach, Joey McCullough. Just raves about the time that he spends in the film room watching games, trying to decide, what he's going to do against different opponents. And so anytime you have a guy like that that's dedicated, that is willing to take the time to watch the film, you're very confident whenever he steps in. And Miles Thompson fits that to a T. He's a junior, started 6 games last year as a sophomore, and as you mentioned, he and Miklos Smalls were battling for that starting position. Smalls eventually won out in that quarterback competition, but Miles Thompson definitely no slouch, and we will see a very, very solid quarterback from him tonight.
Talking about their opponent now, McKinney Boyd comes tonight coming off a 62-30 loss to Plano West last Friday night. They're a team that, though, offensively they've got some firepower. They can hurt you on the ground with Dedrick Scrivens as well as through the air with the quarterback's arm of Grant Restmeyer.
Yeah, Grant Restmeyer, again, another very, very solid quarterback. We saw a very good performance from him last week. Despite the fact that they lost, he did throw for 308 yards last week. So a guy that throws a very, very solid ball. He's 6'4", 190 pounds. He can really get and see over that line. He's not going to have any problem finding his receivers when they're open. He's got Brandon Bowling to throw to. He's got some very, very solid weapons. We saw a big catch from Cassidy Woods last week, Jeremiah Campbell as well. So, Grant Restmeyer is a guy that has put up some good numbers against the best competition in this district. 308 last week at Plano West, and then for 283 against Allen, and we know what kind of competition Allen is. So Grant Ressmeyer is a guy that I was very impressed with. He throws a very, very pretty ball, and I expect to see a good game out of him tonight.
It is Plano East and McKinney Boyd tonight from Kimbrough Stadium. When we come back, we'll take a look around District 6-6A action, tell you about what's on tap for this evening in the district, as well as the marquee matchups outside of the district across the Metroplex this weekend. That's all coming up next. You're listening to Countdown to Kickoff on the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF. Raider Gerald.
We welcome you back to Countdown to Kickoff. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight from Kimbrough Stadium. It is the Plano East Panthers and McKinney Boyd Broncos. And as we get you set for action tonight, let's take you through the key matchups in District 6-6A, starting with a rivalry game not too far from here, just across town at Clark Stadium. Maybe the surprise team in the Metroplex, the 4-0 Plano West Wolves, led by one of the nation's top running backs in Soso Jamambo, and they take on a Plano Wildcats team that enters at 3-2 tonight.
Yeah, Plano West, we know a lot about those guys, and Plano West has been quite a surprise. They were predicted by a lot of people to be outside of that playoff hunt in District 6-6A, but they have been absolutely fantastic so far this year. Soso Jamambo just putting up video game type numbers over there. Robert Colmary, their signal caller, he's been very, very solid as well. A very stout Plano West team, and I really feel like Plano West is probably going to handle their business tonight. Next week, they look ahead, Flower Mound Marcus, but, you know, it's Plano West. They can't be looking forward to next week. They've got to take care of business versus Plano tonight. I feel like they're going to.
Elsewhere in District 6-6A, the Marcus Marauders take on Flower Mound. Marcus 2-1 in district, nearly pulled off the upset of Allen last Friday night. Fell in that one late in the fourth quarter. Flower Mound, on the other hand, still in search of their first win in the district. They have been outscored 81-19 in their last two games. And then one other game in the district comes tomorrow afternoon, in fact, right here at Kimbrough Stadium, as the 5-0 Allen Eagles take on a Louisville squad that is at 2-2 and 1-1 in district. Outside of District 6-6A tonight, there are some terrific games around the area, and beginning with a key matchup in District 9-6A, where Skyline, a team that's really raised some eyebrows, especially since the big win over Cedar Hill, tonight they face a tough Jesuit squad.
Yeah, Skyline 4-0. They're 1-0 in District 9-6A. You mentioned the huge win they had just a couple of weeks back. Over the last 4 seasons, Jesuit has really had trouble against Dallas Skyline. This is supposed to be a rivalry. It hasn't been much of that over the last few years as Skyline's dominated that series. They've won the last 4. And then last week you've got Dallas Skyline with a 35-6 win over Irving, and DeLeon Ward 108 yards, 2 touchdowns on just 4 carries last week. Skyline took care of business. They've got Jesuit tonight. I expect them to do the same thing. I think Skyline just is going to out-athlete Jesuit. I think Skyline wins this one big.
And then a big one tonight at Dragon Stadium over in South Lake, matchup between two outstanding offensive units. The Carroll Dragons, led by quarterback Ryan Agnew, meeting up against the Coppell Cowboys.
Yeah, again, a very interesting district. You've got Capel, Carroll, and Euless Trinity all kind of log-jammed in there. And when this comes playoff time, it won't have much implication because these are big, small schools, and so one will go District 1, one will be District 2. So it really won't make much of a difference. Capel, they'll be a District 1 team come playoff time should they go. And, of course, Carroll, they'll be a District 2 team. But this is a great matchup between programs that aren't used to losing hardly at all, especially when it comes to district games. Neither one of them has lost a district game, in fact, since 2012. You've got Charles West, Capel's stud running back, who's showed time and time again that he can be very, very explosive. And last week they win that game 42-3 over LD Bell. He scored the first 2 times he touched the ball, an 83-yard kickoff return. And then when they got the ball offensively, the next time he goes 75 yards on a rushing play. So Charles West, an absolute stud. But they go up against a very, very tough Southlake Carroll team, and we've come to know that Southlake is going to be one of the best teams in the entire state, if not the entire country. We've seen it over the last 10, 12 years. So a fantastic program over there, and expect Coach Hal Watson to have his guys ready to play tonight. But expect Ryan Agnew to play. He was banged up a little bit earlier in the week. I think it'll be a close game. I think Southlake takes it late.
Here at Kimbrough Stadium tonight in Murphy, Texas, it is the Plano East Panthers and McKinney Boyd Broncos. A lot riding on this one, playoff-type implications. 2 teams looking to try to ride the ship and get back on track after losses in their last ball game. When we come back, we'll take a look at the inside the numbers of tonight's game, break down how the Panthers match up versus McKinney Boyd on both sides of the football tonight. As you're listening to Countdown to Kickoff on the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Welcome back to Kimbrough Stadium. Along with Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. It's the Plano East Panthers and McKinney Boyd Broncos tonight as we take you inside the numbers and look at how these 2 teams stack up. And Eli, let's start on the offensive side for Plano East. Panthers come in tonight, make no mystery about it. They want to establish the run, and they face a Boyd defensive unit that's really struggled to slow down the running game lately.
Yeah, 201 yards allowed per game by that Broncos defense, but those numbers might be slightly inflated as they have faced Allen and Kyler Murray, and then Soso Jamambo put up a monster number again last week. So, the numbers are probably a little bit inflated as far as the 201 yards allowed per game, but they have had trouble stopping the run, and we saw that last week with Soso Jamambo, and then Kyler Murray also had over 100 rushing yards against them as well. But 2 of the more special athletes in the district, so I wouldn't read too much into it, but they really are going to have to be very, very strong up front against that run tonight.
It's a backfield that gets Jaquan Douglas, a healthy Jaquan Douglas back tonight. Trey Hunter, just a freshman who's got some tremendous skills in the backfield. You'll see that duo in the backfield tonight. But if they can't get that running game going, the passing game is really where Plano East has struggled. McKinney Boyd's probably going to try to put them into some third down and long type situations, and that's really the area that Plano East has struggled in this year.
Yeah, and we mentioned Miles Thompson. He's a very, very solid quarterback. He's got some experience. This isn't his first time playing under those Friday night lights, but he steps in for the injured Miklo Smalls. He only has 173 yards passing on the entire season. And you mentioned that Broncos defense, Reagan. They allowed just 178 passing yards per contest, and that front 7 can really get after the quarterback. You've got guys like Ross Matishuk, who is the team leader in sacks with 3, a 3-year starter, first-team All-District last year. You've got Kyle Seamus, that defensive end. He's got a couple of sacks on the season. He's a senior, a 3-year starter, first-team All-District last year. So these guys can really get to the quarterback, and if you're Miles Thompson, what they need to do is get him some short passes early, really get him in a rhythm, and see if he can't build off of that as we move later into the game.
For Plano East defensively, you talk about the front seven of McKinney. Boy, Plano East has a solid front seven as well, led by the likes of Landis Durham, who's already committed to Texas A&M. Tonight, the Panthers, they'll have their hands full with the ground game of Dedrick Scrivens, and then again through the air with Grant Ressmeyer. That two-headed monster can put up some terrific numbers offensively.
Yeah, Dedrick Scrivens, this is a guy who is a legitimate Division I talent. We saw him last week, and Scrivens had what we have established was a career low since he took over the starting running back job a couple of years ago, just 65 yards against Plano West. So I'm not sure if that's a testament to just how solid Plano West's defense has been this year, or if Scrivens just wasn't able to really get the engine turned over last week. But I would imagine you're going to see a very, very angry Dedrick Scrivens tonight. He's going to be running mad because he doesn't want to hear all of this. He got to watch Soso Jamambo basically run circles around him last week, and as a guy like Dedrick Scrivens, who is a Division I talent, that can't make you happy, knowing that a guy basically went out there and just showed you up on the field on the opposite side of the football. That was supposed to be a battle of two very significant, solid Division I running backs. Soso Jamambo comes away with the incredible numbers. Scrivens comes away with a career low. He'll be angry tonight. But Grant Ressmeyer, the 6'4", 195-pounder, he's a big kid who throws a good ball, threw for 308 yards against West, 283 against Allen. We mentioned that already. He's got 889 yards on the ground this year. So we will see what that offense is able to do, but it all starts with Dedrick Scrivens, and I have a feeling we're going to see a big game out of him tonight.
Just about 13 minutes away from kickoff in this one, and coming up next we'll have a chance to sit down, visit with Plano East head coach Joey McCullough, get his take on tonight's key district matchup. You're listening to Countdown to Kickoff on the Roden Boss Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, Gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
And welcome you back into Countdown to and McKinney. Extra week of practice leading into tonight's ball game.
Well, we had a week in the classroom, good mental preparation, preparing for McKinney Boyd. Our defensive staff was at J.J. Pierce, and a bunch of them had faced 2 years in the first round of the playoffs. In my years at Plano West, we've played probably about 5 times against McKinney Boyd, so we had a good idea of what they do offensively and defensively. So we had some good mental reps offensively, defensively, preparing our young kids. We've had some changes with injuries and things like that. In the move up of Trooper Elwangers, our backup quarterback, but Miles Thompson will be our starting quarterback tonight. He's gotten every rep. He's had a great week of practice. It's been a great week for both of our running backs, Jaquan Douglas, who had a shoulder sprain, and Trey Hunter, the freshman running back, who had a knee sprain. Both of them are 100% tonight. And so we feel like not only we do some great work in the classroom with our grades, but also in the weight room and mental preparation and just getting away and kind of healing up and getting ready for the rest of this District 6-6A race.
You had talked there about Miles Thompson. You lose Miklo Smalls to an injury, but a guy in Miles who's seen considerable action at the quarterback position. What does he bring to this offense?
Well, he brings true leadership. He's a guy that can throw the ball. And the thing about Miles that a lot of people don't understand is that he's really a good running quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback, and he's a guy that has worked awful hard this summer on his speed and his quickness. And he's a guy that studies video as well as anybody that we have. He's been in the video room all week long with our offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, Brad Bailey. And he's the kind of guy that studies the offensive line, what they do, their calls. And so he's a student of the game. And so he's an extra coach on the field for us, and he's done a great job of taking leadership of this team.
You take on a McKinney Boyd team that's coming off a loss last week to Plano West. How big does this game loom when you start to look towards the race to getting into the playoffs?
Well, it's a huge, we're 1-1. They're 1-2, but their losses come to Plano West and Allen, two of the front runners in the district. A lot of people had McKinney Boyd pick second. So this is a big game for us. To be able to go 2-1 in this district would be big for us. It's big for them too, because if they lose a third game, it kind of puts them behind the 8 ball too. So tonight is going to be a big time matchup between two teams that like to run the football. McKinney Boyd's a physical team, and so we've talked and preached for the last 2 weeks about being physical tonight.
We're talking with Joey McCullough, head coach here with Plano East, as we get you ready for McKinney Boyd and Plano East, and talking about this McKinney Boyd team. Keys tonight for you offensively, you face a talented 3-4 look versus that front seven. How do you try to attack that?
Well, like we said, we're going to run the football, and we're going to do those things, and that starts up front with our offensive linemen. But the thing that I failed to mention a while ago that we really worked on, coming out of the Plano West game, was our passing game. So we really shored up our protection with Miles Thompson getting all the reps and stuff. We worked on our passing game, our timing with our receivers. Those were things that we could do, not even wearing pads in our bye week. So we really worked on our passing game, and I think we have to get them. If people want to load the box up on us to stop the run, we got to be able to hit them over the top with it.
From the offensive side to defensively tonight, you face kind of a two-headed monster in the running game with Dedrick Scribbins and the strong quarterback in Grant Restmeyer. What do you try to take away from what they do well offensively tonight?
Well, we got to make them one-dimensional tonight. It still comes down to the offense is controlled by Scribbins. If Scribbins can run the ball, it don't matter what the quarterback can do throwing the ball. So we have to stop the run tonight. Both teams tonight are saying that we have to stop the run. And that's priority number one for us, is to stop Scribbins and to not give up the big play on defense. And I think if we do those things, we got a good chance tonight.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
That's Joey McCullough. You're all set. Plano East and McKinney Boyd tonight from Kimbrough Stadium. The starting lineups are coming up next on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Welcome you back to Kimbrough Stadium, just about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Plano East and McKinney Boyd tonight on an absolutely gorgeous night for high school football. Team captains are about to meet at midfield for the coin toss. Let's go ahead and pass along to you tonight's starting lineup, starting with McKinney Boyd offensively. Across the front line, the tackles are Patrick Quintana and Tyrese Robinson, a sophomore. The guards are Carlos Alvarez and Emery Gulick, and Matt Morris is the center, a second-team All-District selection last year. Tight end is Jacob Cantrell, had a 43-yard touchdown pass last week against Plano West. The trigger man, the quarterback, is Grant Restmeyer, a 6'4", 190-pound junior who's thrown for 889 yards and 9 touchdowns through 5 games. Dedrick Scrivens is in the backfield, 901 yards rushing, closing in on 1,000. And the receivers are Cassidy Woods, Brandon Bowling, and Jeremiah Campbell. Defensively for Plano East, they base out of a 3-3 stack look. Landis Durham, the commit to Texas A&M, a 6'3", 220-pound senior, is at the end. Opposite of him is Trayvon Ransom. The nose tackle is Deion Davis, a 6'2", 280-pound senior. Linebackers, Austin Corbett's on the strong side, the team leader in tackles. Grayson Diepenbrock mans the middle, and Anthony Hines is the weak side linebacker. Marquise Morrow's at the jack linebacker. And then Alante Williams and Jordan Williams are the corners. Mark Loveland, the free safety, and Reuben Donald is the strong safety, who's had a couple of interceptions in each of his last 2 games. Offensively for Plano East tonight, tackles are Alan Sarabia and Charles Edgett, who moves over from right tackle back from his left guard position from last week. The guards, can you almost say a changing of the guard this week. Both Cole Moore and Howard Mullins getting the starts. They were not in that starting role last time out. They get the starts at the guard spots, and then Dane Cordell is the center. Tight end is Austin Corbett. Miles Thompson, we've talked about in the pregame show, becomes the quarterback with the injury to Miklo Smalls, a 5'11", 175-pound junior who's thrown for 173 yards this year. And then in the backfield, Jaquan Douglas. You'll also see some Trey Hunter as well. And the receivers, Odi Amatosho, Cameron Moore, and Zadok Wilson. Defensively for McKinney Boyd, they're a 3-4 defensive look. Kyle Seamus is at the defensive end, a 3-year starter. Noah Prater is opposite of him, and then Joshua Stewart is at the nose tackle spot. Outside linebackers is Ross Matisick. The Brandon McFadden is on the other side. And then the inside backers are Ron DeBoo and Braden Webb. The corners are Parker Norton and Armani Jenkins. And the safeties Keaton Livingston and Boone Tate. Team captains tonight for Plano East, Landis Durham is out there along with Edgar Abreu and Jordan Smith. Plano East has won the toss. They have deferred. They will kick off, and they will defend the north end zone when we return. You've been listening to Countdown to Kickoff right here on Sports Sounds Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Promotional event or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Writer.
From Kimbrough Stadium in Murphy, Texas, it's a battle between two teams looking to get back in the win column as the 1-3 Plano East Panthers host the 2-3 McKinney Boyd Broncos. Hello, everybody. Along with Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. You could not paint a more perfect picture for high school football tonight. 75 degrees here in the Metroplex, clear skies. The sun has set, just a slight breeze blowing out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the tell the tape between these two teams. Plano East at 1-3, 1-1 in district, coming off a 42-7 loss to Plano West 2 weeks ago. They had last week off. As for McKinney Boyd, they're 2-3 overall. Also suffered a tough defeat to Plano West, 62-30, trying to rebound from that difficult loss. These two teams met last year in McKinney. Plano East fell in that game 28-10. It was Dedrick Scrivens who went for 209 yards on the ground. Tonight marks the fifth all-time meeting between these two teams, dating back to 2008, and Plano East still in search of their first victory against McKinney Boyd as the Broncos lead this all-time series 4 wins to no losses. Plano East led by head coach Joey McCullough in his first year, as he was spent 12 seasons as the offensive line coach, assistant head coach at Plano West, and then for McKinney Boyd, it's Don Drake, who's in his 9th year, a 48-46 overall record. Plano East will tee it up. They will be kicking off from left to right from the 40-yard line. It is Trevor Pullen who will kick it off from the 40, and it's a little pooch kick that will come down around the 32-yard line, fielded there, and then roughed up at the 36-yard line. A gain of just about 4 yards. It was fielded cleanly by Keaton Livingston on the right side, and so McKinney Boyd will bring their offensive unit out first down and 10 at their own 36-yard line. led by quarterback Grant Restmeyer, 6'4", 190-pound junior, who's thrown for 889 yards, completed 53% of his passes, 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
And we will see early, Reagan, if Dedrick Scrivens can get going. He really never could get that engine turned over last week against Plano West. Like we said, finished with a career low. But we will see early and often here Dedrick Scrivens, and we'll see what he brings to the table here tonight.
Plano East, who initially is a 3-3 stack defensive unit, lines up in a 4-man front look. It's Scrivens in the pistol. Restmeyer, handoff, straight ahead. Now Scrivens bounces out to his right. Is at the 40. Bottled up there at the 42. It's still a gain of 6, close to 7 yards as Scrivens went off the right side, angling towards that McKinney Boyd sideline. It's a pickup of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, and right away you see head coach Don Drake is confident in his right tackle, Tyrese Robinson. He's just a sophomore, but he runs right over the top of him with Dedrick Scrivens, and Scrivens able to pick up good yardage there on first down.
A ran away from Landis Durham, the Texas A&M commit, who's at the right defensive end position. Restmeyer stands tall, throws, quick pass out to Bowling. He's got a first down yardage to the 47 on just a short little bubble pass to Bowling. That'll move the chains, first down and 10. It gets it to the 48-yard line for McKinney Boyd.
Yeah, we saw Brandon Bowling last week, and he is an explosive player. If he gets the ball and is able to turn upfield, he has got breakaway speed, and we saw that last week as he went for a long touchdown, and we saw the bubble screen there. They're trying to get the ball to Brandon Bowling in space and let him make a play.
Twins to the top side, one lone receiver here to the bottom, and the handoff goes straight ahead to Scrivens. He's bottled up now, escapes one tackle and gets right to midfield at the 50-yard line. Will bring up a 2nd down and 7.
You saw Grayson Diepenbrock there right up the middle, and he was able to get a hand on Scrivens. Couldn't make the tackle, but it was enough to slow him down and let the rest of the cavalry get in there and make the play.
Plano East tonight in their solid black uniforms, white numerals and letters trimmed in gold, the gold helmets. McKinney Boyd in the white jerseys, navy pants, and navy helmets with a block M in red on either side. Quick pass from Restmeyer from the gun. The pass is caught. It's a short gain of 2. Pass is caught by Cassidy Woods on the near sideline, and it'll leave McKinney Boyd a 3rd down and 5 at the Plano East 46.
And these are going to be the big plays here tonight for this McKinney Boyd offense. These 3rd down and mediums, these 3rd and 4, 5, 6, that area. They need to convert on these, and this is an area where you could run the ball. You might see a pass from Grant Restmeyer as well. It's really not one of those 3rd and 1 or 3rd and long where you have to do one or the other.
3rd down and call it 4. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Restmeyer throws, quick slant pass, it's caught. And around the 40-yard line, first down yardage, there are flags. It was Jeremiah Campbell who came down with the reception. There was a late flag. See if it stands here. If Plano or McKinney Boyd does have a first down yardage, but we'll check the flag and see. But the clock stopped at 9:58. First drive, no score here from Kimbrough Stadium.
I love that play design there from Don Drake, head coach of the Broncos. Brandon Bowling and Cassidy Woods both out there on that far side. We're out there basically throwing screens to try and open up the receiver to catch that pass. So a well-designed play, and it looks like it's coming back, though, unfortunately.
It was an ineligible man downfield, so they will move it back. They'll replay the down, and it will leave McKinney Boyd a 3rd down and make it 9, as it's now back over into Plano East territory at their own 49-yard line. Dedrick Scrivens will be in the backfield. Restmeyer operates the offense. He sets twin receivers to the left, one receiver up top to the right. The tight end is Jacob Cantrell, who's set like in a slot-type position. No backs in the backfield now. Here comes pressure. They pick it up. Restmeyer slings it deep down the right side. One-on-one coverage, and the pass is incomplete. Over the head and out of bounds. He was looking for Campbell. One-on-one coverage, and a terrific job in coverage there at Plano East. And they will get the football, as McKinney Boyd will have to punt it 4th down and 9 from their own 49.
Yeah, big stop there early from that Plano East defense, and right away you're seeing Dedrick Scrivens not able to get much going. They have the 3rd down and long play because of the penalty, and that's just a killer. Anytime you're in a game that has the potential to be close like this, you just can't create penalties whenever you're in 3rd down and you convert a 3rd down and then it's moved back to 3rd and long. It's just not conducive to winning ball games.
Andrew Smith will boot this one away. Kicks it a wobbly one that comes down at the 20. Takes a McKinney Boyd bounce, and it rolls down to the 5. May have hit a Plano East player in the back. It is ruled down at the 6-yard line. No indication yet as to where that's McKinney Boyd's football. It took an awkward hop immediately, like what looked like it ricocheted off of a Plano East defender.
They're certainly celebrating on that far sideline as if it did, in fact, hit a Plano East player. It did take a very, very awkward bounce here at Kimbrough Stadium. The press box is way up high, and it looks like, it's going to be McKinney Boyd ball. Unbelievable.
First break of this one goes McKinney Boyd's way in the field special teams area, and it'll be first down and goal from the 6-yard line with 9:27 to go first quarter. Plano East had stopped Boyd on their first drive, but following the turnover, now here come the Broncos in the red zone at the 6-yard line. Scrivens is the lone setback, 2 receivers to the left, 1 up to the top side. Cantrell is set in a slot position. Plano East showing pressure right up the middle. Now whistles and flags are thrown as they were bringing an inside blitz with the 2 inside linebackers, Deep Brock and Corbett. Check the flag, and it is offsides on Plano East, so it'll move them half the distance to the goal to the 3-yard line.
And that is one of those plays I bet head coach Don Drake almost would have rather that penalty flag not been thrown, because McKinney Boyd, they were running an outside option play with Scrivens and Restmeyer there, and you saw Plano East, they were going to come right up the gut and try and pressure, and I'm betting Don Drake wishes that thing would have just kept going because it would have been an easy touchdown.
Offset eye, handoff to Scrivens from the pistol position. He is off left tackle and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And so with 9:18 to go first quarter, McKinney Boyd strikes first. It's 6-0 Broncos.
Just like that. And again, we mentioned the penalty there on that third down play that made it a third down and long for McKinney Boyd. On the other side of the ball, Plano East, you've got to know where you are on the football field. You've got to get out of the way of those punts. You get one that bounces off you, all of a sudden McKinney Boyd, after having to punt, right back in the red zone and gets a touchdown early.
Extra point attempt, and the pressure comes right up the middle, and the extra point is blocked. Never had a chance, and so Plano East, after the miscue in special teams on punt coverage, in which the ball ricocheted off the back of a defender, McKinney turns into a McKinney Boyd touchdown. Plano East does block the extra point, so the score is 6-0 McKinney Boyd with 9:17 to go here in the first quarter. You're listening to the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Located at 102 West Main Street in Allen has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield.
McKinney Boyd strikes first following the turnover on the first punt of the game. McKinney Boyd stopped on their first drive. Punt, fumble recovered deep into Plano East territory at the 6-yard line, turned it into a 3-yard touchdown run by Dedrick Scrivens. And for Scrivens, that is his 10th touchdown of the season. McKinney Boyd will kick it off right to left, high end over end kick that will come down to the hands of Adio Matosho at the 7-yard line, angling straight ahead to the 20. He is breaking tackles, flags are thrown, hurdles the tackler at the 25, then fumbles the football into the hands, though, of Plano East. It was Tim Wilson who came down with it. That is as athletic a play as you'll ever see, as Omatosho just absolutely hurdled a defender with his 6'3" frame. There are flags. Ball is marked at the 31-yard line. Check the flag here.
What a strange play. After hurdling the defender, he gets popped. The ball shoots straight up in the air and then just falls right into the breadbasket of a teammate there. So Matosho gets away with the fumble, and we'll check the flag, but what a strange kickoff return.
Officials are sorting this out. Ball is at the 31. You would think it is thrown in the vicinity of somewhere holding, and it is going to be holding on Plano East, so they'll move this one back. So another miscue here in the kicking game for Plano East. They've had a punt that's resulted in a turnover, and now a penalty, which will move them back 10 yards from where that holding, from where that spot foul, that flag was thrown. They're actually going to move it back up to the 32-yard line, which would indicate to me that they waved it off. So that's where Omatosho got out to. So nonetheless, Plano East has the football, 1st down and 10, moving left to right. Ball is spotted on the right hash. Twin receivers to the left, one to the right, and Omatosho. Miles Thompson is the quarterback, 5'11", 175-pound junior. Zone read, handoff goes to Jaquan Douglas. He is stacked up rudely at the line of scrimmage. Kyle Seamus was there to lead the charge, 6', 240-pound senior. Stopped at the line for no gain.
You mentioned Jaquan Douglas. He is back this week. He missed that game against Flower Mound just a couple of weeks back, but we will see if he is 100% or not. Anytime you miss a game with an injury, those things tend to nag as the season continues, so we'll see if he's 100% and the same Jaquan Douglas we saw earlier in the season.
2nd down and 9. Douglas, the running back to the right. Thompson, quick 3-step drop's going to throw it. Slings it out to the right side. Pass is caught by Omatosho. 1st down yardage. He gets to the 42-yard line. And that'll move the chains. 1st down and 10 for Plano East. Their first down of the night. That 1st down is brought to you by Buford Roofing and Construction.
You mentioned Adi Omatosho. Offensive coordinator Brad Bailey says that he reminds him of Terrence Williams, the great Cowboys receiver that, of course, played down at Baylor. And you can see it from just watching film on the young man and watching him play football. He does remind you quite a bit of Terrence Williams.
Handoff again on the zone read. Straight ahead goes Douglas. Short gain of 1. Again, not much there into the teeth of that McKinney Boyd defense. It's a 2nd down and 9. Clock rolling at 8:02 to go first quarter. First drive here for Plano East. Boyd on the board, 6-0 over the Panthers.
You saw Braden McFadden there, the 6', 170-pound senior. Coming from the outside, he adds to his 29 tackle total here this season. Puts his 30th tackle on the board here early in this one.
2nd down and 9 here for this Plano East offense, who's averaging 320 yards a game. Handoff right side, big hole. Into the secondary goes Douglas into McKinney Boyd territory, and he's tripped up at the 42-yard line. Huge hole off that right side behind the blocking of Howard Mullins and Charles Edgett.
And you saw Ron DeBoo there, the junior linebacker. He saved the touchdown as he was able to get over there and trip up Jaquan Douglas. Douglas had nothing but daylight. A great play there by the junior inside linebacker for this Broncos defense.
Douglas stands to the right of Thompson. The H-back is Austin Corbett. 2 receivers go to the left, 1 right. Handoff again to Douglas. Straight ahead. Short gain of 2 yards. And again, it was the linebacking core of Ron DeBoo and Braden Webb leading the charge of those inside linebackers. Short gain of 2 to the 40.
And we will see what this defense is able to do, as we saw what Soso Jamambo did to them last week. They gave up rushing yardage in chunks, and right there a big game just a couple of plays ago from Jaquan Douglas. We'll see if that fires up this Broncos defense. They looked pretty pumped up on that last play, so we'll see if these big gains all of a sudden get them to tighten down defensively.
Play clock is down to 12. Game clock at 6:44 and rolling. 2 receivers left, 1 right, and Omatosho. Here comes Thompson. He keeps it himself right side. It's got a big hole. To the 35, to the 30, 1st down yardage. Wrestled down, angling towards the near sideline. At the 27-yard line goes Miles Thompson. Joey McCullough talked to the pregame show about how Thompson has improved his running, and right there he showed his wheels.
Yeah, referred to him as a dual-threat quarterback, and that's exactly what we saw there. He made the proper read, was able to pull the ball, get to the outside, made a play.
1st down and 10. Plano East on the move, their first drive of the game. Trying to even the score. They're down 6-0, 6:23 and counting first quarter. Again, 2 receivers to the left, 1 lone receiver, and Omatosho comes to the near side. Ball is spotted on the near hash at the 27. Douglas to the left to Thompson. Handoff. Douglas straight ahead, big hole. He's to the 20-yard line, close to a 1st down. And they're going to a lot of movement from that front line. It's going to leave Plano East about 2 yards shy of a first, but it was an 8-yard carry on 1st down.
Yeah, Dane Cordell, the center, he's a 5'11", 235-pound junior. He's also a wrestler, and that tells me that he knows all about leverage. 235 pounds, that's a big kid, but not the biggest you'll see at this level. But being a wrestler, he knows all about how to leverage his body up front, and that's exactly what we saw there from Dane Cordell, the center, and Cole Moore, the left guard, also in on that block to open up that hole.
2nd down and 2 for Plano East at the 20-yard line of Boyd. It's Thompson who keeps it on the zone read, bounces it outside, 1st down yardage and more. 15-10, and then tripped up at the 9-yard line goes Miles Thompson, calling his own number. Terrific read by the junior signal caller. It'll be a 1st down and goal for Plano East.
And you see this McKinney Boyd defense, and you wonder just how much they're missing Ramon Reedus, last year's District 10 5A Newcomer of the Year. He's been out all season this year, and you wonder how much they miss him in that run defense, because the last couple of weeks we've seen them give up huge plays against the run, and we're seeing that again here early tonight.
Yeah, it is a Boyd defense that's allowing 201 yards rushing per game. Douglas in the backfield, set to the right of Thompson. Handoff straight ahead, knifing his way forward for a gain of 1, possibly 2 goes Douglas. And we'll bring up a second down. They'll mark it at the 7. Second down and goal from the 7. Inside 5 minutes to go first quarter, 6-0 Boyd. This drive started back at their own 32-yard line. Miles Thompson has orchestrated this with his running as well as Jaquan Douglas. 2 receivers go left. Omatosho is manned up here to the bottom. Ball is on the near hash mark of the 7-yard line. Douglas set to the right of Thompson. They're going to run speed option into the boundary. Douglas with the pitch, fakes out one defender, and then is bottled up and swarmed under at the 6-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Nice maneuver there by Douglas to escape the grasp of one tackle. Would have been a loss in the play, but we'll check the flag here. It is holding on Plano East, so decision time here now for Don Drake and his defensive coordinator J.W. Pate, whether to take that penalty or decline it, make it a third down. They're going to take it. And we'll move Plano East back to the 17-yard line. Second down and goal from the 17. And these are the kind of situations Plano East does not want to be in tonight with the troubles they've had in the passing game.
Yeah, Miles Thompson, an adequate passer, but we've seen what they've done with the run this entire drive. Miles Thompson has not been in charge of throwing the football yet, but we will see what they come up with here. As like you said, it's now a second down and goal from the 17.
Ball is on the right hash. Again, a 3-receiver look. Thompson's going to throw. Here comes pressure from the backside. Lets it sail. Incomplete. Overshot Douglas out of the backfield on a wheel pattern. It was Ross Matisic who was in one-on-one coverage. Goes incomplete. It'll be a third down and goal now from the 17. And just to our left, here on the near sideline, warming up into that kicking net is Henry Matson, who's 2 for 2 in field goal attempts this year. There is another flag here on the play.
Yeah, we may be, Plano East may be out of field goal range if they continue with these holding penalties. They got the left guard there, Alan Sarabia, and that was just as plain as day as he basically tackled the defensive end. I believe it was Kyle Seamus that was making his way into the backfield there, and Sarabia just tackled him. So,
third penalty of the night for Plano East. 23 yards. This will move them back to the 27-yard line. They were down to the 7 of McKinney Boyd. Clock's at 3:56 and counting, first quarter. Plano East down 6-0. Thompson, the quarterback, has twin receivers to the left. Omatosho to the right. It's going to be Thompson. Keeps it right side. Nowhere to go. He is met rudely. Short gain of 1. Leading the charge defensively for Boyd there was Noah Prater from his defensive end position. And now a third down and goal all the way from the 26-yard line.
And you can even hear the crowd. You can hear what these penalties do to you. You're moving the ball. You're moving it effectively using the running game. All of a sudden you get a couple of penalties back-to-back. You're moved back outside the 25-yard line. So you go from first and goal to outside the red zone in just a couple of plays. And you can hear what that does to the crowd, to the emotion. You can see that all of a sudden this drive is just having the life sucked right out of it.
Third down and goal from the 27. Here comes pressure. Thompson in the gun. Able to escape. Throws too high. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for Tim Wilson over the middle about the 15-yard line. Overshot his intended target. So we'll bring up a fourth down. And now decision-making time for Joey McCullough. Is this the range of Henry Matson, who's 2 of 2 this year from inside 30, but nothing beyond that? This would be well beyond anything that he's attempted this year. But they're going to run Henry Matson out there to attempt this field goal, down 6-0 with 3:02 to go first quarter.
Miles Thompson, on that last throw, he had the 6'4" Tim Wilson. I really feel like Wilson could have come up with that ball. He got both hands on it. It was a little bit high, but a 6'4" target, Tim Wilson. That's what you're out there for, is to use that big body and pull down those important passes.
This will be from 43 yards off of the foot of Henry Matson. It's up, it's end over end, and he just got it through the uprights. Henry Matson hits it from 43 yards, and that gets Plano East on the board. 6-3 our new score. McKinney Boyd on top with 2:57 to go first quarter. You're listening to the Rodenbos Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Plano East is on the board. 43-yard field goal off of the foot of Henry Matson. And now Matson will kick it off in the 40. This will be a short pooch kick that will come down at the 23-yard line, fielded by Keaton Livingston. 25-30, he's got a hold of the 40. 45-50, cuts back, one man to beat, and he is struck down at the 33-yard line from behind. It was Darren Smith who was there to drag him down, but it was Livingston who takes it deep into Plano East territory. It'll be first down and 10 from the Plano East 32-yard line.
Yeah, great starting field position here for McKinney Boyd after the long field goal. And we will see what they can do with this, but McKinney Boyd was able to move the ball a little bit there on that first drive. They stalled out because of the penalty, but they were able to move the ball effectively.
First down and 10 for Boyd with 2:49 to go first quarter. 3 receivers set. It is Cantrell who's set in the slot to the right. Movement across the front, and it was Trayvon Ransom who came across defensively for Plano East. There was also movement on that right side of the offensive line by McKinney Boyd. They're going to call it on Ransom defensively for Plano East. That'll move it up 5 yards, and the 4th penalty tonight for Plano East.
Yeah, the penalties and the mistakes already starting to pile up a little bit for Plano East. It's just a 6-3 ball game, but these are the kinds of things that are really going to have an effect later on if you continue to make these penalties.
Hand off to Scrivens here on first down and 5. Dances out of a tackle at the 25 and then scoots his way to the far sideline, angling out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Enough for a first down. That will move the sticks. First down for McKinney Boyd with the clock at 2:41 to go first quarter. Scrivens will operate from the pistol behind Resmeyer. He stands back at the 29. Cantrell is now in the slot to the left. Twin receivers go left. 4-man defensive front for Plano East. Handoff left side. Scrivens nowhere to go. Bottled up and then swarmed under back at the 26-yard line. Tackled around the ankles. And it was Mark Loveland who came up from his safety position to make that tackle.
Carlos Alvarez, that left guard for that Broncos offense, he missed last week with an injury. It's his first year as a starter, the senior. And he did not do his running back any favors there as he was unable to hold his block. And McKinney Boyd's offense has had a lot of trouble establishing the run here over these last couple of weeks, and now we see Dedrick Scrivens, who is slow to make his way to that far sideline.
Scrivens walked off the field. He is over at about the 35-yard line behind that coaching staff, looking at what he looks to be stretching out that left leg. So moving into the backfield now will be Brandon Bowling. 3 receivers set on a second down and 13 from the Plano East 26. Resmeyer, short drop, throws out in the flats. It's caught at the 20. Dancing out of tacklers, weaving and bobbing his way around, and still on his feet at the 15. How did he ever get out of it? All the way down to the 11-yard line. And that is just extra effort. That's going to get the first down for McKinney Boyd. And coming up with the catch right there was Jeremiah Campbell. In fact, for Campbell, he had not caught a pass since making a reception, he had a 98-yard performance against Allen back on September the 12th.
What a move Campbell made there. He was able to spin out of about 4 tackles.
There comes a handoff. Scrivens is back in. Started straight ahead, now bounces outside. A stiff arm at the 8-yard line, gets out of bounds. The clock stopping with 1:44 at the 8-yard line.
And Scrivens is one of those backs that seems to like to get east-west a little bit too much for my liking. I feel like he'd have more success if he would just stick to the north and south. He seems to get a little momentum, and then he wants to try and dance his way to the sidelines, and that allows that defense to really stretch him out. And Scrivens is so talented, if he would lower his shoulders, get his shoulder pads below the defenders, I think he would have a chance to run some guys over.
6'3" Boyd looking for more. Handoff up the middle, and there's nowhere to go for Scrivens there. He is hit at the backfield back at the 9-yard line, loss of 2. It'll bring up a third down along 9. They can still get a first down to the 1-yard line. It'll be a third down and 8 here.
And that's Grayson Diepenbrock there, the sophomore, in on that tackle. And you can see how Diepenbrock will be a special kind of player once he begins to develop. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 200 pounds already. And we've seen a lot of good sophomores, linebackers in this district.
3rd down and 8, pressure coming. Ressmeyer escapes to his right and throws off his back foot as he was rushed out of the pocket, throws it away deep out of the back of the end zone. And that will leave McKinney Boyd a 4th down. They'll have to bring on their field goal unit with the clock stop of the minute, 6 to go, first quarter, 6-3 Boyd.
You know what, I hate to say this, but this might be an opportunity where I might consider a possible fake field goal here. It probably won't happen, but 6-3, it's early in the game. You've got a lead. I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, it's Andrew Smith who comes on from the right hash. This will be a 26-yard attempt. The snap, the hold is down. Pressure coming up the middle, nearly blocked again. They do get it off, and it's a high end-over-end kick that just sails over the upright to make it a 9-3 lead for Boyd. Plano East had blocked the extra point after the McKinney Boyd touchdown on their second possession, and they nearly blocked the field goal.
Yeah, they might all be fakes from now on if they're going to continue to get that kind of pressure in the kicking game. We saw the blocked extra point just a bit ago, and then right there, right up the gut, and just no resistance whatsoever. And luckily, the kick is high enough to where it sails right over the outstretched paw of that defender. But interesting thus far in the kicking game for Plano East.
It's 9-3 McKinney Boyd with 1:01 to go in the first quarter. Keep our eyes posted around some scores around the district tonight. One that you'll definitely want to keep an eye on, just across the way at Clark Stadium. How about this? Plano is out to a 7-0 lead over Plano West. That is late first quarter. As Plano on top of Plano West. Plano West at 4-0, and the Plano Wildcats at 3-2 coming in tonight.
Plano is not a slouch team by any stretch of the imagination. We talked in the pregame about this gauntlet that is District 6-6A. I mean, a team like Hebron, they don't have a win yet. And that's a dangerous football team. Anytime Brian Brazel's the head coach of a football team, you know it's going to be a dangerous team. So, it wouldn't shock me to see them sneak up on somebody and crush some dreams later on in the season. So just an absolutely brutal district. And Plano West is learning that tonight after they've cruised for the first 4 weeks.
Kickoff comes down to Audio Matosho. He takes this from the 20, 25, and then upended. He does a somersault to the 30-yard line. He comes down, they'll mark him down at the 29-yard line. But a couple of dangerous kickoff returns by Amatosho, who showed some athleticism, but both times he skied up into the air. This time he's taken off of his feet. Inside a minute to go first quarter, 55 seconds, 9-3. Boyd with the 6-point lead.
And these coaches will tell you, don't leave your feet. If you leave your feet, you're just asking for trouble, because somebody will come and they will clean out your clock for you if you try and get off the ground too much.
First time we've seen Trey Hunter, freshman in the backfield, 5'10", 170 pounds. Stands to the right of Miles Thompson on 1st down and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Thompson, play action, throws it out here to Zadok Wilson. Caught at the 35 and cannot escape the grasp of Boone Tate, but he does get the first down to the 41-yard line. He escapes Boone Tate. He may have a chance to go. It'll be a 1st down and 10 for Plano East. That first down brought to you in part by Rodenbos.
And that's exactly what they're hoping for, right there, offensive coordinator Brad Bailey. He sees the one-on-one man coverage. He knows Zadok Wilson is a quick athlete. He's a basketball player as well, so he's got the quickness. And if he can just make that one man miss, there's a good chance that he might go to the house.
1st down and 10 from the 41. 30 seconds to go first quarter. It is Thompson, zone read, keeps it himself, and he is snowed under at the 44-yard line, their own 44, gain 3. That may be the last play of the first quarter. Miles Thompson has that East offense, though, on the move here again. Clock rolling at 13 seconds. They may just elect to go ahead and let it roll down and talk about it inside 10 seconds, and that appears to be what they will do. Boyd's on top 9-3, but Plano East is on the charge at their own 44-yard line. We'll step aside, short break. Second quarter action is coming up. Boyd leads at 9-3. You're listening to Rodenbos Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Move along to the second quarter. Glad you could join us tonight. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan. It is 9-3 McKinney Boyd over Plano East. Just across the way, Plano has a 7-0 lead over Plano West. Here we go on a second down and 8. Handoff to Trey Hunter, and he knifes his way forward to the 50-yard line, close to a first down. Dives forward. He leaves himself about a yard short. There's a quick burst there from the freshman.
Yeah, what a great stable of running backs this Panthers offense has to work with. If you're Brad Bailey, that makes things very, very easy on you. If you're an offensive coordinator, you've got Jaquan Douglas, you've got Deontay Powell, Trey Hunter. We've seen all three of them tonight, and they are all very, very quality backs. We saw Trey Hunter right there, and a guy that Coach McCullough says he's not big-eyed or scared for a freshman, and that's something you can't say very often.
3rd down and 1 out of the 3-receiver look. Handoff Hunter, nowhere to go. He is stuffed in the backfield. And it was Braden McFadden who came on a blitz from his outside linebacker position, lost a 3, and will leave Plano East a 4th down, make it 4. And here comes the punting unit on as Landis Durham will come out on a 4th down and 4.
And I don't really care what Joey McCullough said, head coach for the Plano Panthers, about Trey Hunter. I guarantee you he got a little bit big-eyed whenever he saw Braden McFadden come tearing through the line on him right there. But outstanding play by that outside linebacker for that Broncos defense.
Don Drake really likes what he has in those outside linebackers of McFadden and then Ross Matisic. Right there we saw him bring in McFadden off the edge. Here's Landis Durham. He kicks this one away. It's a good one. It'll come down to around the 13-yard line. Taken by Scrivens to the 20. Dives forward to the 26-yard line. A critical defensive stop needed here by Plano East on this one with Boyd on top, 9-3. 10:37 to go in the first half.
A very interesting first quarter there. You've got the missed extra point from McKinney Boyd after the I don't want to say muffed punt because it wasn't really muffed, but it bounced off of one of Plano East's defenders, set them up inside the red zone, and then they missed the extra point, get the field goal. You've got a long field goal for Plano East, but a very interesting first quarter, a lot of penalties as well. So this is a game that we haven't seen a whole lot of thus far this year. We've done predominantly Plano West games, and those have been just complete and total offensive shootouts. So this is not something we've seen so far, partner.
No, we have not. And we have seen a lot of this, though, penalties. And McKinney Boyd just got one. They're going to move this one back all the way to the 13-yard line, their own 13. We have seen a lot of offense like you've talked about. Tonight here, Plano East actually more yardage than McKinney Boyd, 80 yards to McKinney Boyd's 40. But it's the scoreboard that is in favor of the Boyd Broncos, 9-3. 10:37 to go, second quarter. Scrivens stands in the pistol. In fact, his heels are right on the goal line. They moved this one all the way back to the 7. It was a personal foul. Pass from Ressmeyer. He was not on the same page as Jeremiah Campbell. Slings that one out of bounds. Campbell in one-on-one coverage with Quan Beasley. Campbell was on a go route, and Ressmeyer threw the out. It's incomplete.
Made it pretty easy there on Quan Beasley, the senior cornerback, as he didn't have to do anything as Ressmeyer was not on the same page with his receiver. Those corners really enjoy that whenever they don't have to do anything.
Ressmeyer stands tall in the pocket, throws quick hitch pass, caught out of the flats at the 12-yard line, and quickly down to a knee goes Stephen Driscoll. That will leave Boyd a 3rd down and make it 5 from their own 13.
Important play here in this game thus far. Boyd with the 9-3 lead here, but they are backed up into their own zone, and if they are unable to convert here, they'll likely have to punt, and that'll give Plano East some very, very salty field position.
3rd down and 5. Cantrell is at the tight end. 2 receivers left, one to the far side. Handoff. Scrivens on a counter play, looking for room. Weaves his way forward to first down yardage to the 18-yard line. Looks like he got it just across where the sticks are at the 17. He got to the 18, first down for Boyd on a critical play there, and that moves the chains with 9:54 to go, second quarter, and a Boyd lead at 9-3.
Yeah, and they run the old Carlos Alvarez pulling guard there, and that 6'3", 295-pound frame, he was leading the way for Dedrick Scrivens, and he was able to open up a hole just big enough for Scrivens to get that first down. Big play.
Trips to the far side. Quick slant pass is caught by Bowling, and he bowls his way forward to the 29-yard line, close to a first down. Actually, the 28. That's where the first down marker is, and he's extremely close. Maybe just shy. No, they're going to go ahead and signal it. First down. They'll need no measurement. First down and 10 on the pass. 10-yard pass from Restmeyer to Bowling. And here comes Boyd forcing the issue in a no-huddle offense. Increasing the tempo here. Play clock at 19. Scrivens, handoff, bounces it out left side. Nowhere to go. In fact, stopped for a loss of about 4. Coming up from his safety position right there. Again, it was Mark Loveland, or rather it was Reuben Donald, the strong safety, who came up. Got the loss of 4 on the play.
Reuben Donald just like a missile upfield there. And again, Dedrick Scrivens stretching himself to that sideline. I'd like to see him turn up the field just a little bit. Dedrick Scrivens goes 190 pounds with a 5'9" frame. And Reuben Donald just 5'11", 183. You'd have to think that Scrivens, if he can get north and south, would be able to take on Reuben Donald one-on-one.
Second down and 14. Plano East jumps off sides on this one, and buried back in the backfield is Restmeyer. It's going to go for naught. We're going to call this one back. It was the nose tackle, which appeared to be Deion Davis, who had jumped off. So it was not Deion Davis, who was not in on that play. Deion Davis actually now coming in on this one. That defensive tackle, though, was drawn offside, so that will negate the sack, and they'll move it up 5 yards, and they'll make it a second down and 8 from the 30-yard line.
A dangerous play there as Grant Restmeyer takes a big hit. A lot of times you will see the officials blow that play dead if the defenders are unabated to the quarterback like that. No such luck there for Grant Restmeyer, and he ends up on his behind.
Second down and 8. Again, Restmeyer to throw. This time he cannot escape the pressure. He is slung down. Coming from the backside, it was Bryson Royal, defensive end, the junior, who came screaming off the left side. It is a sack, and it will leave McKinney Boyd a third down along 13.
Another important play here, third down and long, and we'll see what Restmeyer can draw up here. You can always use the screen pass if you feel like Plano East may bring some pressure here, but Brandon Bowling is a speedster, so keep your eyes peeled for him as well.
East down 9-3 with 8:20 to go, second quarter. Restmeyer in the pocket looking, cannot find anybody. This will be a coverage sack. Down he goes, terrific coverage on the back end, and again it was Bryson Royal. Amongst a host of other black jerseys who were back there, the sack on Restmeyer, and McKinney Boyd will have to punt it away with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
A defensive struggle thus far.
Bryson Royal, who had 1 sack prior to that series, had 2. They're on back-to-back plays as Royal sacks Restmeyer and pushes McKinney Boyd all the way back to their own 19-yard line. 2 men back now here to receive on the punt for Plano East. Quan Beasley comes to the near side. Adioma Tosho is up top. Both stand back at the 40. Punt off of the foot of Andrew Smith. It's a wobbly one that'll come down to Quan Beasley. Makes the fair catch and dives forward at the 48. Almost looked like he snagged that one on his fingertips. Plano East has terrific field position here. Down by 6. 7:27 to go in the first half.
Yeah, nice solid punt there from the Broncos. But, again, Plano East with very, very good field position here to start. We'll see if they can take advantage of it. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them offensively to this point. The penalty on that last drive certainly didn't help their cause as they worked their way outside the 10-yard line back out to about the 25 on a couple of back-to-back penalties. So Plano East they've been moving the ball a little bit here with the running game. They just need to tighten things up as far as the penalties go.
3 receivers set. It'll be Thompson straight ahead. Big hold of the 45, and he is brought down up around the helmet. Almost looked like we have his clothesline about the 45-yard line. It's a big gain of 7, though.
And we heard Coach McCullough talk about how Miles Thompson is evolving in that run game. And the reason for that is because, Coach McCullough said that he is spending so much time preparing and watching film, and that's how you evolve as a runner, is you know how to run that read option to perfection. And we saw it right there from Miles Thompson.
Second down and 3. This time, Douglas straight ahead, nowhere to go. Stacked up and upended at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he may have lost 2 on that play. They will spot him back at the 47 of Boyd. And that will leave Plano East again a third down and 5 here for Miles Thompson and company at the 6:35 mark to go until halftime.
And you've got plenty of weapons if you're Plano East. Adioma Tosho, a 6'3", 385-pounder. He's been offered to play at Duke. So clearly you've got some playmakers on the outside. You've also got Zadok Wilson out there, who we saw just a moment ago, who's got some speed. He's got some quickness. I wouldn't be shocked to see the football distributed to either one of those players right here.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Play action. Pressure coming. Thompson escapes to his right. Rolling, looks, throws, passes, tipped and incomplete. In and out of the hands. He was looking for Christian Buchanan from his H-back position. Buchanan skied up and tried to make that catch right at the first down marker. Had it go off of his fingertips. It's incomplete. Plano East will be forced to punt again. Clock stops at 6:03, and Panthers down 9-3 here. It'll be Landis Durham who will stand back inside his own 40-yard line to boom this one away.
And again, just not much happening on either side offensively here thus far, as we're flying through this first half with all of these punts.
Dedrick Scrivens stands inside his own 10. Durham punts this one. This is nearly straight up into the air. Hits at the 30-yard line, takes somewhat of a Plano East roll. In fact, it's going to die down at the 29, not the punt that Durham wanted. So McKinney Boyd has decent field position just inside their own 30 at the 29.
Yeah, and a punt like that gives McKinney Boyd the opportunity to flip that field position back. A good punt there likely pins Boyd back inside the 10-yard line, certainly inside the 15, and the punt ends up about the 30-yard line. So if Boyd were to stall out here on this drive, they have a chance to flip that field position back that they were in trouble with just a moment ago. So we'll see if Scrivens can get anything going. He's had a struggle these last couple of weeks, the entire Plano West game, and then to start this game, he hasn't done much either. So
here's handoff. Scrivens straight ahead, started left, now comes back to his right, nowhere to go. About 4 or 5 black jerseys there. He gets to the 34-yard line. He does get a gain of 3. Leading the charge there was Austin Corbett from his weak side linebacker position.
And if you would have told me before this game that it would be almost halftime and we wouldn't see much out of Dedrick Scrivens yet, he needed 99 yards to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark coming into tonight, and he hasn't done much of anything to this point. So we're going on about 6 quarters now that Scrivens has not been able to establish himself in the run game.
Handoff Scrivens this time, straight ahead, bounces out to his left. He's about 2 yards shy of a first down. And will leave McKinney Boyd a 3rd down and 2. Clock nearing 5 minutes to go, first half. 9-3 Boyd on top.
Yeah, Dedrick Scrivens to this point, 11 carries for just 24 yards, so not much doing in the run game for that Broncos offense.
From the pistol, Scrivens stands behind Ressmeyer. Handoff, Scrivens, stretch play right side, gets outside to the 41-yard line, just enough for the first down. It was Mark Loveland who came up to bottle him up and make the tackle, and that will move the chains for McKinney Boyd. 4:45 to go until the half.
And a nice, long, sustained drive would be perfect for McKinney Boyd right here. If they could utilize that run, mix in a pass or two to keep Plano East honest, somehow go down and score a touchdown here, they'd really take command of this game right before the half. I don't see Plano East going on a long, sustained drive. So, important drive here for the Broncos and their offense.
4-man front defensively for East. Here's a deep pass down the right side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Jeremiah Campbell, who had a step on Quan Beasley about the 30-yard line. And Ressmeyer's pass just turned Campbell around. He could not make the grab, and that will leave him 2nd down and 10.
And I can guarantee you that Grant Ressmeyer, when he sees that one in film on Monday, he is going to be absolutely sick to his stomach because he had Jeremiah Campbell wide open streaking down the field. Ressmeyer just didn't come out of his hand like a lot of the passes we've seen over the last couple of weeks. A little bit wobbly, and that's why it sailed to the outside.
Inside handoff to Scrivens this time on 2nd down and 10. He gets to the 46-yard line, their own 46. And that will leave Boyd a 2nd down and 5, or 3rd down and 5, make it. Ressmeyer looking over to that far sideline, getting the offensive signals from Don Drake, who's in his 9th year with Boyd. As the head coach helped, in fact, he started that program back in 2006. 3 receivers go to the top side. Ball is just inside the right hash mark. From the 46-yard line, their own 46. Pass complete to Bowling. Spins out of a tackle. He's got room to run. 45-40. And brought down at the 37-yard line goes Brandon Bowling. Team's leading receiver came in tonight close to 250 yards through the air. He gets the first down.
Got a flag on the far side as well. It came in right at the end of the play, right on top of where the tackle was made. So
that has been one area tonight that Plano East has been plagued. Has been the penalties. They're going to wave this one off, fortunately, though, for Plano East. couple of critical penalties tonight. 6 penalties, 43 yards that have hurt Plano East.
And Grant Ressmeyer a little bit slow to get up after that last play, and he's taking his time getting back up to the huddle there, and a little bit slow there, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he was holding that right leg, but appears to be okay.
Scrivens stacked behind Ressmeyer. Handoff straight ahead on first down, carrying tacklers for about 4 yards. This is to the 33-yard line. Here in the waning moments of the first half, 3:25 and counting, 9-3 McKinney Boyd.
It's been a gutsy drive so far for this Broncos offense. This is going to be one that Don Drake talks about at halftime. He says, hey, gutsy drive, guys.
3 receivers in the formation. Handoff to Scrivens, darting his way ahead. About 2 yards shy of a first down. Tripped up after a gain of 3.
Not only are they threatening to score some points here and extend their lead, but they are absolutely slaughtering this clock. This has been about a 4 or 5 minute drive already, and they're showing no signs of letting up.
3rd down and 2. Scrivens bounces out to the left. He is upended by Mark Loveland, very close to the first down marker. Austin Corbett was there as well. Loveland is a free safety. He comes up and he'll put his hat on you. Second leader in tackles on this team. And they say Scrivens just did get enough for the first down. Move the chains again. 1st down and 10. The clock stopped at 2:35. Ball is at the Plano East 27. Boyd leading 9-3. Plano East needing a critical stop right here. Trying to keep this at a 1-possession game before the half. Back to passes Ressmeyer. He's flush in the pocket, steps up, nowhere to go. He's swallowed under. Jordan Smith was there, along with Austin Corbett. It's the 3rd sack of the night of Ressmeyer. Leaves McKinney Boyd a 2nd down 11.
And you've got to come away with some points here if you're McKinney Boyd. I mean, this drive has been a very, very solid drive. They've taken a lot of time off the clock, and if they somehow don't come away with any points here, just be devastating to that offense to work this hard and get nothing out of it. 2nd down 11. Handoff. Scrivens. He has room ahead to the 20. Bouncing out of tacklers to the 18-yard line. Tough running by Scrivens. Kind of what you talked about, north-south running right there from Scrivens, and that was probably his most productive run of the night. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say the same thing. He finally stayed within the tackles, and rather than try and dance to the outside, he just took it straight up the gut, and when he did, you can see what happens.
3rd down. Here's Scrivens again. Straight ahead, lowers his shoulders across the 10 to the 8. Tough running by Scrivens with 1:29 to go here in the first half. Scrivens, who's been held under 50 yards tonight, that will put him over the 50-yard mark. And now a timeout is called. Both teams will go to their sidelines with 1:29 to go here in the first half. 9-3 the score. And this is would keep it here. Plano East defensively tonight. Well, they've looked solid defensively. Have not got a whole lot of help from their offense, although they've had some chances. Just not being able to push it across the goal line, but boy, they need something from the defense right here.
Yeah, do they ever? I mean, like you said, offensively they've struggled, and Miles Thompson's a quality quarterback, but he doesn't have as much experience as some of these other guys, and I really don't see them coming from way behind. They've got to stay in this game. If they get down by more than, say 17, 20 points, it's going to be very difficult for Plano East to come back. They've got to come up with something here to try and keep this thing close. If they can somehow get a turnover here, that would just be huge for Plano East and their morale. But going to halftime, I mean, this is one of those drives that can really, really take the life right out of you if you're Plano East. I mean, this thing is taken forever, and it looks as if McKinney Boyd's going to cash in here. So,
out of the timeout, Scrivens again stands in the pistol. 4-man defensive front here for Plano East. Two receivers go to the top, one lone receiver and Campbell to the bottom. Inside pressure coming on this play. Speed option. Ressmeyer keeps it himself. He's slung down at the 2-yard line. Pressure was coming from that right side. They had the perfect play called, running away from that inside blitz. And it'll leave him 2nd down and goal at the 2.
The one saving grace for this Plano East defense is after being on the field for 6-7 minutes here, they're going to get to take a breather as we're almost at halftime. But this is a drive that can really take a lot out of you if you're a defensive unit.
Clock rolling in 1:02. 2-back set with Scrivens stacked behind Ressmeyer. Cantrell is in a slot to the left. Handoff. Scrivens started straight ahead, bounces to his right, close to the end zone. I think he got in. He did. He rolls his way in. Kind of rolled off the back of Michael Alleman, the inside linebacker, just rolled into the end zone. Could not keep him out and push him back. That makes it 15-3 Boyd with 48 seconds to go until halftime.
I mean, that's the definition of a game-changing drive right there. If not a season-changing drive for McKinney Boyd, that's one they're going to look at on film and say that was the perfect drive, exactly what we needed right there. They took a ton of time off the clock. They managed to get the 6 instead of the 3. What a fantastic drive right there. And I guarantee you Don Drake's going to talk about that one for quite some time, because that's a drive right there that can be just back-breaking for your opponent.
Timeout is called. Both times tonight that McKinney Boyd has run out their field goal unit, one on an extra point and the other on a field goal. One they had blocked on the extra point, the other one on a field goal they nearly had blocked. The pressure had come from the inside. 15-3 the score. You would think right here that McKinney Boyd may be going for 2. Try to push that score to 17-3 and a 14-point advantage.
Yeah, sure. I don't see any reason why not. I would definitely attempt to go for 2 here. They've been able to move the ball with a good bit of success on this drive, so I think that the read option play that you've used for the majority of this drive, I think you just run that just right out of the pistol like they've been doing.
It is Ressmeyer as the quarterback. He's got 3 receivers to his right. One is Scrivens. Cantrell is the H-back just to the right of the formation. One lone receiver to the top side. We got to maybe thinking some kind of quarterback draw right here, or maybe something to Scrivens in the flat. Inside pressure shown by Plano East. Here comes rolling to the right is Ressmeyer. He was looking for Scrivens. It passes incomplete, but there is a flag thrown right into the teeth of that secondary.
Yeah, this could be one of 2 things. This could either be defensive holding, or it could be an illegal pick on the offense.
Officials sorting it out.
Yeah, it's the illegal pick call.
Yeah, it is. And it's going to go against McKinney Boyd. So a little bit of a break there for Plano East. Still very much in this one. Down 12, 15-3 the score with 48 seconds to go until halftime. You're listening to the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
(15-3). McKinney Boyd with the lead. We're in the waning moments of this first half. 48 seconds to go. Andrew Smith will kick this one off from the 40-yard line. Audio Matosho stands deep at his own 5-yard line. This a booming kick, end over end, will sail down to the arms of Omatosho on the far side at the 5. Angles this direction at the 10, escapes a tackler, 15-20. Flags all over the field, bounces out of tacklers at the 22-yard line before he's brought down. There are yellow flags all over the field, one back at the 10-yard line, then one rest just in front of that Plano East sideline at the 35, or the 25-yard line. Clock stopped at 39 seconds, 15-3 Boyd with the lead.
I think you're the only person that didn't throw a flag onto the field there. 6 or 7 of them out there. It's crazy.
Plano East has been hamstrung tonight by those penalties, and you would it appear, and yes it is, it's going to be on them. They'll march this one off, holding. They will mark it all the way back here. It was a spot foul. They'll bring it back to the 6-yard line. Not the situation that really plays into the hands of Plano East. 39 seconds to go. Not particularly a strong passing team. 39 seconds to go until halftime. They're deep in their own territory at the 6-yard line. They may just elect to give this one to Jaquan Douglas, who's now in the backfield with Miles Thompson. Thompson has done a formidable job tonight running that offense. He's had some holes and made some good reads in that zone, inside zone game of his. The handoff here goes to Douglas. There's nowhere to go. He's slung down back at the 7-yard line. They'll give him progress, maybe a gain of 1.
And I think starting field position here, if you're Plano East, it's best to just not do anything crazy. A pick 6 right here, and you're going to be in some real trouble. So I think it's best just try and maybe keep it on the ground here and get to the half. 2nd down and 9. They are going to air it out. There's a man down there. Pass is incomplete about the 44-yard line. Well, you had a man. Nice pass by Miles Thompson. Pass is incomplete out of the hands of Tim Wilson.
And that will leave Plano West a 3rd down and 9, 12 seconds to go. McKinney Boyd does have one timeout left. Plano East with all 3 of theirs. Clock is stopped with 12 seconds. You would think if Plano East does not get the first down, McKinney Boyd could conceivably call that timeout. Maybe try to block a punt.
Yeah, if it's an incomplete pass, they won't have to use the timeout.
And it is Miles Thompson going to keep it on the zone read. Big hole. He has first down yardage and more. 15-20, angling towards the far sideline. He's brought down now. A late flag. This would indicate something of a personal foul maybe on Boyd. Clock stops at 3 seconds. There have been some holes there tonight. Thompson's made some nice reads. That offensive line has had a nice push tonight for Plano East.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They've done a good job thus far tonight. They're just not able to do much.
They've not been able to finish those drives. This is going to mark it all the way up to the 35-yard line. Thompson may be able to take one last shot here. There's a timeout called. 3 seconds to go until half. 15-3, McKinney Boyd. Let you know here at the half, we'll take you through stats summary and scoring summary of this first half of action. Also get you caught up on action across the Metroplex. Possibly some upsets brewing tonight. Keep our eyes on some games that may catch your attention. One not too far from here over in Clark Stadium in Plano. Plano Senior High and Plano West tonight.
Oh, that was an impressive teaser.
You like that?
Yeah, it really did. It made me want to stick around. Yeah, it made me want to stick around to see what the score is.
Good, because you're going to be giving it.
All right. Well, all right. I don't want to have to break any hearts, though.
That's right.
Yeah. So
it is a Plano West team that has looked close to unstoppable through the first 4 games this year. The running game of Soso Jamambo and Robert Colmary. But tonight, they may have met their match in Plano, at least through the first half. Good one going on there.
I can tell you that J-Don McCullough is he's no fool. Yeah. He was going to come with a game plan tonight that was going to be quality, and I think that's what we're seeing over there tonight. It's just very, very good coaching coming from Plano.
Out of the timeout, here's a handoff to Douglas. Nowhere to go. Kyle Seamus is there and just bear hugs him down to the ground at the 36-yard line. That will do it for the first half here from Kimbrough Stadium in Murphy, Texas tonight, where McKinney Boyd has a 15-3 lead over the Plano East Panthers. We'll take a break. We come back. Buford Roofing and Construction halftime show is coming up. You're listening to the Rodenbos Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Rodenbos, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbos offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbos backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbos, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Halftime at Kimbrough Stadium on a gorgeous night for high school football here in the state of Texas. McKinney Boyd with a 15-3 lead over Plano East through the first 24 minutes of action. And it's been a close one throughout. McKinney Boyd with a late touchdown to push it ahead, but still very much in grasp here for Plano East tonight, just down 12 points at the half. And Eli, you've got to look at tonight's scoring summary.
Yeah, not much doing there in the scoring summary, not like some of the ones we've had to read covering those Plano West football games where you get 40, 50 points out of the first half. 15-3 is our score here as McKinney Boyd and that Broncos offense is able to score a couple of times. And Plano East not much doing offensively for them. Let's go through your scoring summary. In the first quarter, it was McKinney Boyd that started off the scoring with a touchdown. 9 minutes and 17 seconds left there in the first quarter. It's a Dedrick Scrivens 3-yard touchdown run. The PAT was blocked, so that made it a 6-0 lead for the Broncos. After that, Plano East, a field goal. It's a 43-yarder off of the foot of Henry Matson. That made it a 6-3 McKinney Boyd lead, and then McKinney Boyd with a field goal off the foot of Andrew Smith, a 26-yarder with 1:06 remaining there in that first quarter. The only scoring out of that second quarter was that long drive from that Broncos offense. They scored with just 48 seconds remaining there in the first half. It's a Dedrick Scrivens 2-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion was no good. That's where we stand, 15-3. Not much scoring, but it was an exciting game. I especially enjoyed that long drive that McKinney Boyd went on there in that second quarter. What a drive.
Yeah, and as far as Plano East is concerned, I think a couple of things maybe stand out for Joey McCullough and his staff. One, they had a chance there for a long drive themselves, and they get a field goal out of it. Penalties hurt them, but they were knocking on the door deep into McKinney Boyd territory. That's one that really probably stands out for them on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you take a lot of clock and come away with no points, or you come away with a field goal, especially when you've got it down there first and goal, you're moving the football effectively. You take 2 bad penalties, it moves you way outside, almost outside of field goal range, really. A career long off of the foot of Henry Matson, a 43-yarder, and that's not a kick that a lot of high school kids can make. I think his career long before that was 36-37. So anytime you move yourself almost out of field goal range when you've got it down there first and goal, you have to settle for a long field goal attempt. Luckily for Plano East, it was a good field goal attempt, but you really want to come away with 7 right there. And if you're Plano East, offensively it's been such a struggle, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back if they get any further behind.
You had talked about the long drive there by McKinney Boyd. Maybe the positive to see that for Plano East, and the fact that the big plays have not hurt them defensively tonight. They've really made McKinney Boyd have to work for everything that they've gotten tonight.
Yeah, and they've done just that. I mean, McKinney Boyd with that long drive, I'm not exactly sure the total time, but 6-7 minutes at least on that drive from the Broncos offense there in the second quarter. I mean, if you're head coach Don Drake, you've got to be pleased with that, though. Sometimes you have to go on those long, sustained, gutsy drives to score. Not everything can be a 50 or 60-yard touchdown pass or a 50, 60-yard touchdown run. Not everybody has a Soso Jamambo. Dedrick Scrivens, he's had to work for his yardage tonight, and he started off a little bit slow. He really hasn't really gotten going, but you saw it there on that last drive. He started to stay in between the tackles and really get north and south, which is something I think he has to do if he wants to continue to run the ball successfully. We saw all last week he was trying to stretch the ball to the sideline, and he's got good speed, but he doesn't have freaky speed like a guy like Soso Jamambo or Kyler Murray. He's a guy that really needs to stay between the tackles and use that small frame, just 5'9", 190 pounds. That's a bowling ball of a kid, and if he can get his shoulder pads low, I really feel like north and south is going to be the best way for him to carry the ball, and we saw that there late in the first half. He really kept it between the tackles, and that's when you saw some success.
Here at the half, McKinney Boyd with a 15-3 lead over Plano East. Two teams trying to stay in the hunt, in the thick of things for that playoff race. Still somewhat early in that district race, but Plano East coming in tonight at 1-1 in district. For McKinney Boyd, they've lost a pair of games in district action, one to Plano West, the other being to Allen. They're at 1-2 in district and trying to get back into the win column as well. Well, we'll take a break. We come back. We'll look at the halftime statistics as well as telling you about scores from across the District 6-6A action tonight as well as throughout the Metroplex this evening. That's all coming up next on the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show right here on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, Gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West.
Welcome you back to Kimbrough Stadium. 15-3, Boyd on top of Plano East tonight here at the half. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan. Taking a look now at the statistical breakdown between these two teams. You look at tonight's box score through the first 24 minutes, and really the thing that jumps out to you probably is just how evenly matched these two teams have been. Statistically, the scoreboard clearly in favor of Boyd, but statistical columns pretty even.
Yeah, absolutely, Reagan. And you look at the total yards, 116 total yards for the Broncos offense. For Plano East, just 100 yards, 9 first downs for Boyd, 7 for Plano East. 61 rushing yards and 78 rushing yards for Plano East, just 61 for the Broncos. 6 for 10 passing, 2 for 5 passing for Plano East. So a very, very run-heavy game we've seen thus far, and that's why we saw that first half go by in just a little over an hour. So, it's been an interesting game to this point as far as the fumbles. No fumbles for McKinney Boyd, and then Plano East with the 1 turnover on that fumble. So penalties for Plano East, it's been a little bit of an issue. 7 penalties for 48 yards. For McKinney Boyd, they had 4 penalties for 45 yards. Let's take a look at your individual statistics now. For McKinney Boyd, passing the football, Grant Ressmeyer 6 for 10 for 55 yards. He did not have a touchdown nor an interception. On the ground, Dedrick Scrivens, 19 carries for 68 yards, just a 3.5 per carry average, but he did cash into the end zone twice. And then you have Grant Ressmeyer getting sacked there a couple of times. He had 4 attempts for -7 yards. McKinney Boyd receiving. Brandon Bowling leads the way in the first half. He's got 3 catches for 33 yards. And you have Jeremiah Campbell, Stephen Driscoll, and Cassidy Woods all with 1 reception. On the Plano East Panthers side of the football, you've got Miles Thompson, just 2 for 5 for 22 yards throwing the ball. To this point, it's been all rushing for Plano East. Miles Thompson, 6 carries for 50 yards. Jaquan Douglas, 9 carries for 25 yards. And Trey Hunter has 2 touches of the football. He's got just 3 yards rushing. And as far as receiving yards, Zadok Wilson with 1 catch for 12 yards. And then Odi Omatosho with 1 catch for 10 yards. So not much doing offensively for Plano East. You can tell by the statistics there. It's been all McKinney Boyd. They haven't really lit up the offensive categories as far as statistics go, but they lead it on the scoreboard. That's the most important one.
15-3 our score right now at the half. McKinney Boyd with a 12-point lead over Plano East. Well, we'll step aside. We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll get you caught up on action around District 6-6A tonight, as well as tell you what's going on across the Metroplex tonight. A lot of great action here as we get about the midway point of the regular season in Texas high school football. You are listening to the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show right here on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be three things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at IC.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the number one cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Welcome you back into the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show here from Kimbrough Stadium tonight, Murphy, Texas. McKinney Boyd has a 15-3 lead over Plano East. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. And it has been McKinney Boyd who's led really from opening moments of this one. They have not trailed as they took a recovered fumble following a punt on their second possession at the 6-yard line. Were able to punch it in. And since then, they've been in control. They lead 15-3 here over Plano East. Well, let's get you caught up on some scores around the Metroplex from last night, as well as tell you about what's going on tonight. We'll start out in District 5-6A. Last night action, Keller, a 44-39 win over Keller Central. It was Keller had a 30-16 lead at the half. They held on for the win. They improved to 3-2 overall, 1-1 in district, while Keller Central drops to 3-2 overall and 1-1 as well in the district. District 11-6A, Garland Saxe, a team that is had a couple of losses this year. A strong offensive unit. They roll last night, 55-0 over North Garland. Saxe quarterback Brett Cox threw for 314 yards, 5 touchdowns, as the Mustangs now move to 4-2. North Garland still in search of that elusive first win as they fall to 0-6. Those are the only two games last night in the Metroplex in Class 6A action. Class 5A, District 6-5A to be exact, Birdville rolls over Fort Worth Eastern Hills 49-13. Just the second win of the year for Birdville, who now sits at 2-3 in the Lake Dallas, all over Fort Worth Carter Riverside by a score of 56-7. Lake Dallas now out to a 5-1 start, 2-1 in district. And then one other game last night, District 11 5A, Carrollton Newman Smith 49-0 winners over Thomas Jefferson. The Trojans from Newman Smith now 3-2 and a perfect 2-0 record in district. That's last night action. Eli's got to look at around the Metroplex in tonight's action.
Let's do it. All right, man, let's check up some scores for tonight. Let's start right here in District 6-6A. Flower Mound and Flower Mound Marcus. Flower Mound Marcus leads that one 7-0. That game is at halftime. You've got Plano West and Plano, a game that we've been keeping our eyes on here all night. That game is at half. Plano leads Plano West over at John Clark Stadium by a score of 14-7. So a little bit of a shocker there, Reagan. I was really expecting Plano West to put it on Plano tonight, but as we talked about a little earlier, Jadon McCullough, not a slouch. He is one hell of a head coach, and he has put together a very solid game plan to slow down Soso Jamambo and that Plano West offense tonight. Let's check some other scores out of the district. District 7-6A, Capel and South Lake Carroll. That game also at halftime. And another shocker in the making. Capel leads at 14-7 at half. Euless Trinity all over Haltom tonight, 31-0. That game in the second quarter as well. District 8-6A, Cedar Hill 35, Midlothian 7. That game is at halftime. South Grand Prairie leading at the Gopher Warrior Bowl over Duncanville 7-6. That game in the second quarter. District 9-6A, Irving, MacArthur all over Irving 21-10. That game is approaching halftime. 35-24, Skyline over Dallas Jesuit. That game in the second quarter, so a lot of scoring going on over there at Skyline at Forrester Field. 7-6, WT White leads Carrollton R.L. Turner. That game also in the second. District 10-6A, Richardson Pierce trailing Highland Park at halftime 21-0. Mesquite all over Lake Highlands 28-7. That game also at half. You mentioned the game from last night. Mesquite Horns 62, Richardson Bergner 12 was the final from Thursday night. North Mesquite 14, Richardson 0. That game in the second quarter. District 11 6A, Rowlett 14, Garland 0. You've also got Rockwall all over Garland, Naaman, Forest. That game 50-0 at half. So Rockwall in command over there in Rockwall's Wilkerson Sanders Stadium. Denton 21-20 over Fort Worth Boswell in District 5-5A. District 6-5A, Grapevine up 21-0 over Fort Worth Poly. That game in the second quarter. District 9-5A, Frisco Heritage and Frisco all tied up at 21. Frisco Centennial all over Frisco Independence 48-7. That game in the third quarter. The Colony up over Frisco Lone Star 14-7. That one also in the third. And another third quarter score, Frisco Wakeland over Little Elm 26-0. District 10-5A, Lucas Lovejoy all over Sherman 36-7. Denison up 14-7 over McKinney. McKinney North 10-7 over Prosper. Wiley East is leading Wiley 21-14. That game is at halftime. 11-5A, Carrollton Creekview up 10-9 over Hillcrest in the second quarter. District 12-5A, Forney all over South Garland 21-7. Mesquite Poteet over West Mesquite 17-14. Rockwall Heath is up 21-0 at halftime over Terrell. Let's check just a couple more scores here for you. One non-district game slated for tonight. No score update on this one yet. It's Carrollton Ranchview and Fort Worth Castleberry. That game is no update as of yet in that one. And how about one TAPS 1A game for you? Prestonwood Christian up 55-13 over John Paul II. I mentioned that one. That is where Michael Irvin's son goes to school over at Plano Prestonwood Christian. They lead it 55-13. That will get you caught up on all of the scores from out of the area. And, of course, we will keep you updated on that Plano West Plano game as we move along here this evening.
Oh, it's some possible upsets in the making. You talk about that game, and you talk about also Capel leading South Lake Carroll tonight, 14-7 the score there as well. So some interesting games. Here at Kimbrough Stadium, it's McKinney Boyd on top of Plano East, 15-3 our score at the half. We're just a little less than 8 minutes away from kicking off the second half. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the keys to the second half for Plano East, what they've got to do to get things rolling in the second half. They'll receive the football to start the third quarter, so a chance to get back on the offensive side and get back into this ball game. 15-3 our score here at the half. You're listening to Buford Roofing and Construction's halftime show right here on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Boss, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be three things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
McKinney Boyd on top 15-3 here at the half at Kimbrough Stadium. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. And we look ahead here to the second half. So we're just about 5 minutes away from kicking things off to start this second half. The good news for Plano East is they will get the football to start things off. They had won the toss in the first half, deferred, and in fact went on defense and was able to hold McKinney Boyd. Probably one of the key things that stands out in this game is on that punt. Kenny Boyd had a ball that went off of the back of a Plano East defender, and Boyd recovered it at the 6-yard line. And from there, they were able to punch it in and score. We may have a different ball game, but let's look at the keys here to the second half for Plano East. Offensively, they'll get the football, and at times tonight, they look like they've been able to put some things together. What do you see them needing to do in the second half?
Well, like you said, they've been able to put some things together. It doesn't reflect on the scoreboard, but they have been able to move the ball just a little bit. I like the way that Miles Thompson is able to throw the football. I like the way he's been able to use his feet as well. I feel like if you're offensive coordinator Brad Bailey, you need to get Miles Thompson on the move. You need to roll him out. You need to try and get him out in some space where he's got a clear field of vision in front of him. And I think if you can do that, you've got some weapons. I mean, Adi Omatosho is a very, very quality receiver, a guy that's been offered to play at Duke. If you can somehow get him freed up, I think that there's a chance that you can make something happen. Jaquan Douglas has shown that he can run the football a little bit. He's a little undersized at 165 pounds, but he's got some speed. I feel like the key for Plano East in this second half, though, is going to be Miles Thompson, and that's what we talked about in the pregame, and that's what you're going to have to do offensively if you're Plano East. Miles Thompson has got to win this game for you.
On the defensive side for Plano East, they've had some success. Other than that long drive, McKinney Boyd really had to earn it there that last drive. They went probably almost 6 minutes on that drive. For Plano East, they've got to have a terrific effort defensively here in the last 24 minutes.
Yeah, and they really had a pretty solid defensive effort in that first half. I mean, I can't really fault them for anything they did. Like you said, they at least made Boyd earn it. Boyd had to go on a long, sustained drive. And I got to give Plano East some credit because that's a drive that'll really just suck the life out of you if you're a defender. I mean, you're out there on the field for 7-8 minutes. It's one of those things you could just give up and say, all right, just roll over and die and let them score. They never did that. Eventually, Boyd does punch it in, but like you said, they made him earn it. So props to that Plano East defense for really making McKinney Boyd struggle to get that touchdown. That being said, Plano East can't allow a lot more points, because I would be very shocked if Plano East was able to come back from, say, more than 17, 20 points down. So for Plano East, it's going to have to be create turnovers. You've got to somehow make McKinney Boyd give you the football back. And if Plano East can somehow come out and score here early, make it a 15-10 ball game, or even a 15-6 ball game, get another field goal, just get some points on the board. At that point, if Plano East can create a turnover, they're right back in the ball game.
Yeah, how critical does this first possession now become for Plano East?
Huge.
Right on that.
Yeah, massive, no question.
15-3 the score. McKinney Boyd on top here at the halftime show is beginning to wrap up. McKinney Boyd making their way down the ramp just on the far side from us. Plano East to the near side, still waiting to come out of their locker room as well to get the second half action kicked off here. Plano East coming in tonight 1-1 in district, 1-3 overall. As for McKinney Boyd tonight, 3-2 overall. They're 1-2 in district. They'll have their off week next week. Plano East has already had theirs. In fact, they've had 2 weeks for preparation for this game. So some game planning, some adjustments going on in the locker room. They're wrapping that up as we are just around a minute or so away from kicking off this second half, at least according to the scoreboard. We are. The band's still playing out on the field right now for Plano East, which would indicate we'd probably have a little bit more of an extended halftime.
And just while we've got an extra minute or two, I can't tell you how exciting this district is going to be coming down the stretch. If somehow Plano West loses tonight, you get Plano with a win there, so now all of a sudden you've got Plano West, and you've got Plano East that's still in things. McKinney Boyd is not out of it yet. And again, I know I mentioned this earlier, Hebron sitting down there at 0-5, but that's a good football team. That's a team that many people predicted to finish second or third in this district. They could sneak up and bite somebody later on in the season. So it's going to be a wild finish, especially if you see West lose tonight. Of course, West, next week, they've got to travel to Flower Mound Marcus. Flower Mound Marcus gave Allen all they could handle last week. So you get Plano West to lose tonight. If they go to Marcus and lose again next week, all of a sudden you've got a log jam. Those 5 or 6 teams are all right there. You've got Allen that everybody's looking up at. I would be very surprised if Allen caught a loss, but you never know. I mean, this district has been wild, and it's only going to get wilder if somehow Plano beats Plano West tonight. So it's going to be fun to watch this thing down the stretch. And
a lot riding on this one here for both of these teams. Really talking to Joey McCullough before tonight's game. Felt like this game looms large for playoff hopes and implications to try to get back into that at 1-2 right now in the district. So they've got the work cut out for them, down by 12 here as we get set to go for the second half of action. That's all coming up next. You've been listening to the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show right here on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.
McKinney Boyd and Plano East have stormed through the tunnels here to start the second half, and they are back down on the field of play here at Kimbrough Stadium. Glad you could join us tonight. Second half action coming up. McKinney Boyd and Plano East. The Boyd Broncos on top 15-3. Plano East had won the toss in the first half. They had deferred and kicked off, so they will receive here to begin the second half. They will defend the south end zone, and Plano East will be moving from right to left. Wearing the all-black tonight, gold helmets, the Panther logo in black on either side. McKinney Boyd tonight in that look that's almost reminiscent of Ole Miss, the navy pants, white stripes down either side, white jerseys, red numerals and letters trimmed in navy, and the navy helmets with the red stripe right down the middle and that red block hem on either side. So Boyd will tee it up and kick it off. It'll be Andrew Smith who will kick it away from the 40-yard line. Audio Matosho, who stands back deep around his own 5-yard line. He's had some acrobatic returns tonight, in which he's gone airborne twice tonight. Upended on his last one. Really a full somersault in the air. This one's going to sail all the way to the back of the end zone and hit the white stripe and bounce all the way back through the end zone, and it'll be Plano East who will set up shop first down and 10 following the touchback. It'll be Miles Thompson who will bring his troops out. Have it first and 10 on their own 25-yard line.
It's going to be a fun second half, partner. We will see exactly what Plano East has drawn up here on this first drive, but they get it, 25-yard line. Got a ways to go. We'll see what they draw up, but it should be an interesting first drive. They really need to come away with something here.
Now they'll start with Jaquan Douglas in the backfield, set to the left of Miles Thompson. Two receivers to the right, and the pass quickly thrown and completed at the 35-yard line. Zipped it in there to Cameron Moore, his first catch of the night. Little throw and catch there from Miles Thompson, and Moore, it's a first down.
Yeah, just like that, trying to get Miles Thompson comfortable, getting the ball out of his hand very, very quickly there. They just want him to have it for just a split second. So good play design, and you pick up a good chunk of yardage there on first down.
Thompson sets his troops at their own 36-yard line. First down and 10. Zone read. He's going to pull it down himself, keeps it, knifes his way forward across the 43-yard line. Good yardage there, chewed up by Thompson at close to 8 yards on that first down. It keeps it very manageable for Plano East here. Second down, that's what they're looking for tonight. Second and short, third and short type situations.
And one thing Plano East right now offensively is they are definitely fresh. They sat the majority of that second quarter after that long drive from McKinney Boyd, and then you have the long halftime performance. So they are definitely on fresh legs. They've had quite a breather over the last, say, 45 minutes.
Make it a second down and 3. Pass out of the flats is caught, first down yardage, and then whipped down just across the 50-yard line is Tim Wilson with the grab. His first catch of the night, moves it across, just across the 50-yard line. Knows the football actually resting right at the 50. So almost into McKinney Boyd territory. First down and 10. That's the second first down here this third quarter. That presented to you by Flat Shell Service Center. First and 10 for Plano East, moving right to left on the near hash. Two receivers to the top side. Handoff. Douglas, right side. He's got room, and then he is swarmed under at the 46. Ball's loose. There's a swarm. There's a pile at the 46-yard line. It's brought down by McKinney Boyd's Boone Tate. He's going to maybe take this one to the house. He somehow came out of the pile with it. He's going to race to the end zone. It's a touchdown, and that wasn't Tate. It was actually the other safety, and Keaton Livingston.
What just happened?
Unbelievable.
And that's just the last thing you want to happen. If you're Plano East, they were moving the ball, and we just saw a pile up. You hear the crowd groan down below us because they could see the ball come loose. We saw the ball come loose, and for about a good 6 or 7 seconds, there was a rugby-type scrum down there. I guess nobody ever came up with the ball. All of a sudden, you see a Boyd player come just popping out of the pile with it, races about 65 yards, and that's a touchdown, and McKinney Boyd firmly in command now.
It was Keaton Livingston, the safety, who came up with that fumble recovery. There was a pile up at about the 45-yard line. He somehow came out of it. Not sure that really anybody from that Plano East side knew he had it until he got to about the 25-yard line.
I can tell you that we certainly didn't.
Boy. Extra point, and this one nearly blocked. It's like there's nobody blocking up for that.
How was that not blocked?
Again, the rush came right up the middle, almost untouched. There were about 3 black jerseys, but somehow the extra point gets through the uprights off the foot of Andrew Smith, and McKinney Boyd has extended their lead to 22-3 following the turnover. 10:28 to go, third quarter. You're listening to the Road Boss Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Boss, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
22-3, McKinney Boyd well out in front now. Plano East following a 50-yard fumble recovery by Keaton Livingston. And McKinney Boyd has extended their lead now to 19. Plano East sends Odio Matosho back to receive the kick. Stands back at the 5-yard line. This high end over end. Booming kick off of the foot of Andrew Smith. Sails all the way through the back of the end zone. And the Plano East Panthers offense, led by Miles Thompson and company, trying to get something going. They've looked good at times tonight. They've just not been able to finish drives. Had something going there on that first drive here of the third quarter, but it ends in a turnover, and the worst kind of turnover. It turns into 6 points.
Yeah, a quick 6 points, too. And like you said, I mean, that's the worst kind of turnover. Not only did they have something going offensively a little bit, but not only do you fumble, but then the fumble turns into a touchdown. So unfortunate there for Plano East, and now they're really behind the 8 ball as they've got to get something going offensively here and in a hurry.
Thompson in the gun, low snap, now running for his life. Slides to his right and just heaves this one out of bounds over the far sideline into a host of white jerseys on the McKinney Boyd sideline. Incomplete. It all started with a low snap right there from the center and Dane Cordell, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
And I don't believe we had a chance to talk about this really at halftime, but for McKinney Boyd defensively, the key to the second half for them is just keep doing what you're doing. You've only allowed 3 points in the first half, and after the defensive touchdown right there, up 22-3, East is definitely behind the 8 ball now, so just kind of keep doing what you're doing and keep putting some pressure on Miles Thompson.
2nd down and 10, handoff, stretch play, Trey Hunter off the right side, nowhere to go. He was looking for a hole, and there was just nothing there. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Kyle Seamus there from his defensive end spot, as well as Noah Prater. Bring up a 3rd and 9.
And we mentioned a bit ago that these two teams, these are the two fresh units on these teams because of that long drive that McKinney Boyd went on at the end of the first half. These two units are very fresh, and right now it looks like McKinney Boyd's defense is the fresher of these two units. They seem to be really flying towards the football.
3rd down and 9. 2 receivers come to the near side. Ball spotted on the far hash. Snap back to Thompson. Looking. Surveys, throws, pass, incomplete. Well over the head. Outstretched arms of Tim Wilson, who was on a little hook pattern around the 38. It's incomplete. It's a 3 and out. Plano East will have to punt this one away on a 4th down and 9. Clock stop, 9:36, third quarter. Boyd on top, 22-3. And this is one that don't get a defensive stand right here. Could get away from you in a hurry.
No question. That was a huge turnover there to start this second half. And like you said, you get a punt return for a touchdown or you get another score here from McKinney Boyd, and this thing is out of hand. So, really this is the time that if you're going to stay in this football game, you have got to make something happen defensively.
Punt from Durham. Takes a Plano East bounce at the 50 and then rolls down. It's dead at the 46-yard line of McKinney Boyd. So 1st down and 10 for Boyd at their own 46-yard line. They've got great field position here with 9:24 to go, third quarter. Broncos on top of Plano East, 22-3. Joey McCullough, who took over this program this year. Boy, a feel-good story for him, a guy who, Plano East graduate back in 1986. Wanted to come back and have a chance to coach at his alma mater. He'd been in Plano West for the past 12 years, offensive line coach, assistant head coach, and he's come over now to Plano East. Here's 1st down handoff to Dedrick Scrivens, darting and dancing his way across midfield to the 49-yard line. Gain of 5 yards on the play, and a little bit more of a pep in the step of Dedrick Scrivens since we saw about midway through the second quarter getting north-south, and there he gets a gain of 5.
And you mentioned Coach McCullough here. He and Coach Hughes are actually best friends. They've known each other for a long time, worked together for 12 years, like you mentioned. But they're actually very, very close. They're good friends. So an interesting dynamic there. Anytime you have two coaches that are friends that end up coaching against each other.
Second down and 5, and Restmeyer rolling to his right, comes back to his left, escaping the pressure, then heaves a home run ball down the middle. It's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Bowling. It's one-on-one coverage there. Mark Loveland doing a terrific job defensively from his safety position on Bowling. And it will leave McKinney Boyd a third down and 5 with the clock stopped at 8:46. So a critical down right here for Plano East. So trying to get the football back. 3rd and 5, ball just across the 50 into Plano East territory at the 49. Setback is Scrivens from the pistol. Here comes speed option to the near side, and Restmeyer close to a first down. He's maybe about a yard shy. He tucked it and ran it himself, and just trying to lean forward into that pile. Closer to 2 yards shy of the first down. Maybe a yard and a half. They'll call it 4th down and see if they keep that offensive unit on there. Restmeyer remains out there with that offensive squad. They're going to go for it. 4th down and a yard and a half.
Dedrick Scrivens was over there screaming at his head coach to leave him out there, but we'll see exactly what they do here. Maybe a quick kick or something, but the offensive unit is definitely on the field.
Ball in the near hash mark, handoff Scrivens. He's bottled up, but he's able to escape the grasp of Austin Corbett, bounce outside, get a first down. He's finally wrestled down by Grayson Diepenbrock, the middle linebacker, but not before Scrivens gets first down to the 41. I had him bottled up, but he's able to escape.
Yeah, and that's just a back-breaking first down there for Plano East, and the defense is still on the field out here, and no doubt tired after that long drive that Boyd went on to in the second quarter there. And at this point, East has got to come up with some kind of turnover.
First down and 10, handoff straight ahead, nowhere to go. Scrivens is stuffed. It's Anthony Hines there to make the tackle. Boy, there's a kid right there. You talk about young sophomore linebackers, a guy with a bright future. Hines has got offers from all over. Makes the tackle for a loss of 3. Scrivens tonight now 20 carries, 73 yards. Deep drop by Restmeyer. Pressure coming. He is wrapped up and brought down back at the 46-yard line. Pressure just kept on coming. And another terrific job defensively by the secondary. Another coverage sack and great pressure applied. That time Diepenbrock again putting pressure on the quarterback. Restmeyer goes down with a sack. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 22 now for McKinney Boyd's offense. Ball back at their own 47-yard line. 4 receivers set, 3 receivers split up top from their own 47. 4-man front defensively for Plano East. Go with a twist look defensively up front with those 4-down linemen. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for Dedrick Scrivens around midfield. Throws that one into the ground. It's incomplete. They heated him up there on that series. Good job by the defensive front line. Linebacking core. 4th down. They'll have to punt. The clock stopped at 6:43, and exactly what the doctor ordered there for the Panthers defensively.
Yeah, and this Plano East defense is no slouch. I mean, they've got a very, very solid defense. Guys like Austin Corbett, Grayson Diepenbrock, Anthony Hines III, that weak side linebacker. He's already got 50 offers from various programs. It's just a sophomore, so this is not a weak defense, and they need to do more of that here in this second half.
Punt off of the foot of Andrew Smith is a high one. This one will come down, take a bounce at the 15, roll to the 10, the 5, and then out of it, saving it from going into the end zone and rolled down dead at the 1-yard line. What a job by McKinney Boyd's. It was Parker Noren who dove towards the end zone, was able to keep that one from going into the end zone. There is a flag, though, resting down back at about the 33-yard line. I think you're going to call it running into the kicker. Well, if it's roughing the kicker, it'd be a first down. Or is it running into and... Well, if it's roughing the kicker, then Plano East got themselves in a bind. That's going to put the defense right back on the field.
Yeah, the signal our official gave us was the running into the kicker signal, but I believe they are calling this a roughing the kicker, which would be an automatic first down for McKinney Boyd. And wow, that's not what you needed right there. If you're Plano East, that's just a backbreaker.
It sure is. They're going to move this one all the way to the 38-yard line. That is now the 8th penalty of the night for Plano East, and that one right there couldn't have been at a worse time. Keeps McKinney Boyd's drive alive now, leading 22-3. Here comes Restmeyer, option left side, tucks it and keeps it himself. He's at the 33-yard line before he is banged down there Diepenbrock again on the tackle. Anthony Hines is there. It's a gain, though, of 5 for McKinney Boyd.
And clock just churning off here as McKinney Boyd looking to go on another drive that will not only chew up some time, but put them back on the scoreboard. And Plano East, I mean, we've said this now, I think 3 times just this drive. They've got to come up with something, and they have, and then they continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
Hand off Scrivens, and he bounces out left side. There's just nowhere to go. Terrific job by Donald Rubin coming up, making the stop, maybe a gain of 1. You see the speed and athleticism at times for Plano East defensively, especially in that linebacking core and the safety right there at Donald, stopping Scrivens for a short gain. And it was Scrivens last year who went for 200 yards against this Plano East defense. He went for 371 back on September 5th against Coppell. Broke a school record with that rushing performance. But tonight he's been held in check at times. Here's a handoff Scrivens. Second effort may have gotten the first down. Tackled around his ankles by Donald. It is enough for a first down at the 27.
Yeah, this one won't go down in any record books as, his career performance, but Scrivens has been very, very solid tonight. He's got a couple of touchdowns, and he's really, really fighting for yardage, and he's earning his yards the hard way, which you got to love a running back that not only will put up the big numbers, but he'll also fight for yardage in a close game, in a game where he's not going to go out there and put up video game-like numbers. And, sometimes those are the games you really need out of a quality back.
First down and 10. Penalty flags down the play. Plano East was showing pressure off the right side. May have gotten too early of a start. They blow that one dead. Crossed over to the neutral zone, and so it is an automatic 5 yards. First down and 5 now for Boyd. 5.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Broncos knocking on the door once again, leading 22-3.
And we talk about Dedrick Scrivens, and that's what coaches love out of a player. You haven't seen him get frustrated one time tonight. He's been bottled up a pretty good bit, but he's been able to fight for yardage, and he has not gotten frustrated, and coaches absolutely love that in a running back.
Ressmeyer to throw from the gun. Heaves it. Fade pass. Far left side into the end zone. One-on-one coverage with Quan Beasley. There is penalty flag. The pass is incomplete. But the penalty flags would indicate a pass interference on Beasley. It was Cassidy Woods who went up into the air to try to pull that one down. Looked like he had it there momentarily.
Well, the guy blowing the horn down there certainly thought that he had come down with it. We got the touchdown horn prematurely over there.
They're going to see who they call this on. Plano East is claiming that maybe Woods got away with a push-off.
It wouldn't surprise me. It looks like that's the way they're going to mark it off. It seems like Boyd's being moved back here, so I believe they did get Cassidy Woods with a little offensive pass interference.
They are going to bring it back. So that incomplete pass will now just result in a offensive pass interference, which will march McKinney Boyd all the way back here. We'll spot it down at mark this one off at the 37-yard line of Plano East. The clock stopped at 5:08 to go, third quarter.
I feel like we're just like the voodoo hex for penalty-filled games. I feel like every game we call is just hankies everywhere.
Scrivens in the pistol, handoff. Inside give, nowhere to go. He is blasted at the 37-yard line. It was Austin Corbett who came up and put the screws to Scrivens, and Scrivens is down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I feel like he needed like a half of a cardboard box folded out. He was like breakdancing down there.
He was upended and just, like I said, he was folded. We're talking about penalty yards. I mean, McKinney Boyd, a team coming in, how about these numbers? They jump off the page at you. 473 yards the last 4 games. We saw a penalty-riddled game for them last week against Plano West. They're averaging 98 yards a game in penalties. Tonight, though, they've not been hurt so much by the penalties as Plano East has been. Here they come on a second down and 19. Ressmeyer to throw. Home run ball down the right sideline. It's incomplete over the arms of Bowling, and pass would have been out of bounds anyways. It's incomplete. He'll bring up a third down at 19.
One thing I have noticed about Grant Ressmeyer tonight, and he hasn't completed a lot of passes. He hasn't been as sharp as we saw him, say, last week or against Allen, but he is throwing the ball knowing they have a 22-3 lead. He's throwing the ball where only his man can go get it. Now, that ball was a little bit overthrown for Brandon Bowling, and I feel like Bowling had a step there, but Ressmeyer made sure that if his guy was going to get it, and that was it. He wasn't going to underthrow it and have somebody intercept it. So, I like that in a quarterback. It's smart.
Third down and 19. Again, Scrivens in the pistol, stands behind Ressmeyer. Three receivers set. Ressmeyer's going to throw. Deep drop. Looks. Deep down the left sideline. He's got a man with a step. And the pass turned around. Is caught in the end zone. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. Cassidy Woods was there. This time he did get a step on Beasley. He will not be called for pass interference. It's a touchdown. And for Cassidy Woods, it is his first of the season. And it gives Boyd a commanding 28-3 lead with 4:11 to go in the third quarter.
Wow, and I got to tell you, Cassidy Woods, outstanding job of adjusting to the football. He has to turn all the way back around his body and then catch it over his shoulder, and is still able to get one foot down as he's falling out of bounds. Fantastic, spectacular catch by a guy who's just a sophomore, so the future is definitely bright for Cassidy Woods. And for Plano East, unfortunately, the future not so bright here tonight.
Andrew Smith's extra point is good. They get good protection this time. Every time they've had an extra point or field goal tonight, there has been pressure straight up the middle. They do protect this time. The extra point is good. 29-3. Boyd well out in front of Plano East with 4:11 to go third quarter. You're listening to the Rodenbaugh Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Andrew Smith will tee this one up, 40-yard line, 29-3. McKinney Boyd with the lead with 4:11 to go third quarter. Audio Matosho will stand back to return this one. It's been a disastrous third quarter. It all started with Plano East on the move here in the start of the third quarter on their opening drive. A fumble out of the hands of Trey Hunter that was taken all the way to the house by Keaton Livingston. It's been all Boyd since then. Here's Omatosho. He's got a big hole. He's got the 20, 25, 30. Angling to the far sideline at the 40-yard line. What do you know? There's a penalty flag at the 42-yard line. Goes Omatosho with an athletic run. It all started with some key blocking up front, but we'll check the flag here again. See if Plano East is going to have this one called back for some holding, or if maybe, yes it is, holding on Plano East. What do you know? They're pushing closer towards 100 yards of penalties tonight. Not doing themselves any favors. This one will come back, see where that flag was thrown on the spot foul. Plano East will start off deep in their own territory here, right at 4 minutes to go third quarter.
Joey McCullough, I mean, this is the kind of game that just, if you had any hair left, it's going to be it, for the hairline. I mean, you're just down there pulling your hair out because every time they do anything positive, there is an immediate negative. And when I say immediate, they get a great return right there, and before the play's even over with, there's a flag down. So, I mean, it's been, one step forward and two steps back almost all night long for Plano East. And this is a game that they really should be in. They shouldn't be getting blown out like this.
Three receivers set. Miles Thompson will keep it. Flags again. There's a fumble on the play. Keaton Livingston, what do you know? He came up with it again. He wrestles himself forward to the 29. He may have fumbled the football. There are flags. And if this is on Plano East, it is thrown in the vicinity of holding. If it is, it would be a turnover. McKinney Boyd would have it well deep into Plano East territory at the 29-yard line. See who came back up with it. Livingston looked like he had coughed it back up. It is a Plano East player who does have the football. It's Trey Hunter who came up with it, the freshman running back. See if Livingston, how they sort this one out. If they say Livingston fumbled it or if his knee was on the ground, they've got it spotted at the 29. A lot of things to sort out right here.
Yeah, I think Plano East ended up with that football after the nonsense we saw.
And it is a penalty on Plano East. A holding. The defensive unit's still out there for McKinney Boyd, which would tell you that Trey Hunter did recover that after Livingston had coughed it up. Nonetheless, though, they're going to march this one back all the way inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And the penalty yardage just continues to rack up here for Plano East. And Joey McCullough is not happy about it at all. He is in the ear of the line judge right here in front of us on that near sideline. So this will make it a first down from their own 14. The good thing is here, how about this one? It gives you a set. hold on a second. Line judge is coming out here to speak with the officiating crew.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that should be a fresh set of downs where they're at. This is interesting because the ball changed possession briefly. Plano East came back up with it, so it changed possession again. So after the penalty, this should be first down and...
It should be your 1st and 20.
Yes, that's and I think that's what we're getting sorted out here. Yeah,
and they are going to do that.
Our chain gang had the first down markers in the wrong spot. Yeah, and so this is going to be about a 1st and a mile now.
Yeah, the chain gang had to come all the way back to the 14-yard line. It looked so it was going to be a 1st and 10. That was not correct. It is going to be much further than that. It's going to be 1st and 26.
Say so. Yeah, it's a little further.
Is not a down and distance that really fits into the game.
No, there's not a lot of plays you can call for the 1st and 26. Just hope you can get a chunk here, maybe a screen pass, or just get something up the middle, and just hope you can pick up 8, 9, 10 yards and just try and chip away at it. And that's essentially what Plano East has got to do, not only for this play in this series, but for this game. Just they've got to try and figure out a way to chip away, and now we're going to have our officials are going to talk once again and try and get this all sorted out. I'm not sure that they may still not have this right, but
Joey McCullough, for whatever reason, he believes that he is still in the ear of that line judge. The line judge has come out to talk to the head referee as they try to get everybody here on the same page. McCullough's come all the way out to the bottom of the numbers to talk to the line judge. They still have it marked 1st down and 26 with the ball spotted at the 14 and the first down markers from the 29 to the 39-yard lines.
Essentially what happened is you had a fumble from Plano East. The ball was recovered by McKinney Boyd momentarily, enough to where they felt like there was possession there. Then Plano East caused McKinney Boyd's defender to fumble. The ball was recovered once again by Plano East. And then there was a penalty on top of that called on Plano East before the turnovers. So I'm just as confused as you are and the officials and the coaches are, but they're trying to get this sorted out. But, something you don't see a whole lot of. This is not something we see a lot of. So
it's not. And I think maybe Joey McCullough's argument possibly could be here because of the change of possession. Does that go not that it negates the penalty, but does that negate the fact that it's 1st and 26? Does it just go back to a 1st and 10? But you go ahead
from where they're at.
You go ahead and take that yardage back, and we move you back to the 14-yard line.
Correct.
It'd be a 1st and 10 from the 14, like the chain crew initially had it. My thought was it'd be a 1st and 26, but now the more I kind of think about it here, because you did have just a literal change of possession, would not that make it just a 1st down and 10? But you would go ahead and take your penalty yardage. It's a new one.
Yeah, I'm just as confused as you are, partner. I mean, I'd love to sit here and be able to tell you that I know every nuance to every rule in the rule book, but this is a new one for me, and it looks like they're leaving it as is, and I don't think McCullough is very, very happy with the result of that conversation.
1st and 26 from the 14 after the drawn-out conversation. Here comes pressure. Thompson in the gun. Throws over the middle. Pass caught at the 40-yard line. To the 45 to the 50 goes James Stewart. Jason Sievert all the way to the 46-yard line. It was Sievert who was open across the middle. And what do you know? There is a yellow flag standing back at the 39-yard line, laying there lifeless on the turf. Boy, Plano East has had about what seems to be 4 consecutive plays in which they have been called for a penalty. See what they get right here. If it is on Plano East, indeed, it is an illegal block.
And again, same story that we've seen all night. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They come up with a big play right there, a potential game-turning play. You get a lot of momentum there when you complete a 50, 60-yard pass over the middle. Finally get a little momentum on offense. Once again, we've got a flag, and you're just – at this point, it's not even shooting yourself in the foot anymore. I mean, they're shooting themselves in the feet, the knees, the thighs. I mean, they're unable to get anything going because of all these penalties. And as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, there's not much you can do. There's only so much you can teach. There's only so many plays you can call that are going to be successful. The kids on the field, if they're going to keep making penalties, there's not much you can do. I mean, you can preach and preach and preach that penalties will destroy your chances to win a football game, and we've seen that time and time again here tonight from Plano East. And I mean, you have to feel bad for the kids. It seems like every time they get anything going, it's a penalty. Insult to injury here. Not only was it a legal block, but now what appeared to be maybe Coach McCullough here called for a unsportsmanlike conduct. Just as upset as he is, this goes all the way back to the 3-yard line. Quick pass to Omatosho. Caught us at the 9-yard line. Brought down. That, my friend, was first down and 38. Again, not one that you specifically have a play designed for. Maybe a hook and ladder. Maybe try a hook and ladder there. Yeah. The Statue of Liberty. Possibly. Fumble-rooski. Maybe the Little Giants annexation of Puerto Rico. That's the one. That's the go-to play right there. That's the one. 2nd and 29 now. Well, that was following a pass from Miles Thompson to Jason Sievert that got all the way down inside McKinney Boyd territory. It's 29-3 Boyd with 2:40 to go, third quarter. This turned into a 3-ring circus here. Here's a pass out in the flats. It's caught by Christian Buchanan. Buchanan is spun down. Ball's loose at the 24, but they'll rule it dead. And Buchanan is down. They'll mark him down at the 22-yard line. Still leave them well shy of a first down. Something to build on, though, if you were Plano East. The Panthers have now gone 2 consecutive plays without a penalty. So there you go. Got that going for them. 3rd down and 17 for Plano East. With the football at their own 23-yard line. 29-3 McKinney Boyd, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Well, Thompson found Jason Sievert across the middle 2 plays ago. Sievert is the lone receiver here to the near side. Ball's on the near hash, 2 receivers up top. Thompson throws deep down the right side, looking for Omatosho. One-on-one coverage, and they're going to call a penalty. This will be on McKinney Boyd's corner to that top side. Armani Jenkins tangled up with Adi Omatosho. Now here comes another flag. And maybe Don Drake called for a unsportsmanlike conduct. He came all the way out onto the field and had some choice words. Oh, they're going to. How about this? They're going to wave that flag off, saying that it was uncatchable for Omatosho. And boy, Joey McCullough is going to come unglued. I can't blame him on that one. No, that's as blatant an interference or a defensive holding as you'll ever see. I mean, clearly the defender just beat and knew he was beat, reaches out, grabs a handful of jersey on Adi Omatosho, and, if Omatosho's not impeded to getting to that football, there's a chance he runs under that ball. I mean, this is a kid who's committed to play at the next level. He's got some speed. He's got the ability to run under the ball. I can't believe they picked that one up, and like you said, I certainly don't blame Joey McCullough if he is just steaming mad over that one. Landis Durham to punt. This one nearly blocked. Maybe got a piece of it. Bounces at the 38-40. Will roll dead at the Plano East 42-yard line. And McKinney Boyd will take over first down and 10 at their own 42. And this has just been as nightmarish of a third quarter as you could possibly have for Plano East. This was 15-3 coming out of the half. All started with a fumble taken to the house by Keaton Livingston to start this third quarter. Well, it looked like Plano East had a drive put together. That turned into a touchdown. Then it has just been a barrage of penalty flags against Plano East. You had the touchdown pass from Ress Meyer to Cassidy Woods. Here's a handoff to Scrivens, right side, spinning out of a tackle, brought down to 39, gain of 4. And then right there, that's just the icing on the cake to have that flag waved off on what would have been a first down. Yeah, I'm like you, partner. I just can't believe that. I mean, we're way up here in the broadcast booth, and believe me, this is not a broadcast booth. It's very close to the field, and this took place on the far side of the field. And I mean, you could see the handful of jersey. It was stretched out a good foot behind Adi Omatosho. I can't believe they picked up that flag, especially for something saying it was uncatchable. It seemed like a catchable ball to me. I don't know. Pass here to Jeremiah Campbell out in the flats to the near side is caught, spun down at the 35. It'll leave McKinney Boyd a 3rd down and 3. From the Plano East 35-yard line, 36 seconds and counting. 29-3 McKinney Boyd, handoff straight ahead to Scrivens. He is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Bryson Royal was there, Landis Durham, Grayson Diepenbrock. A host of black jerseys are there, and it brings up a 4th down and 3.
Well, the other question was there was a flag thrown, which would have indicated, as we come to the closing seconds here this third quarter, that would have been an unsportsmanlike conduct on the McKinney Boyd coaching staff. I'm assuming maybe Don Drake, but I guess that one was picked up when the other flag was waved off. So.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Something else.
All right, here we go. We're going to the fourth quarter. 29-3 McKinney Boyd, well out in front of Plano East. You're listening to the Road Boss Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
29-3. Kenny Boyd out in front of Plano East. We go to the fourth quarter. Boyd turns around. They'll move from right to left here on a 4th down and 3. They're going to go for it. Movement across the front line on that right side. Plano East indicating that it is on McKinney Boyd. And it is a false start. This will back them up 5 more yards, make it a 4th down and 7. You would think they would still have the likelihood of going for it right here as they are in Plano East territory at the 40-yard line. But Don Drake elects otherwise here. They're going to try to pin Plano East here at the 40 on a 4th down and 7. They will punt this one. It'll be Andrew Smith who will stand back at his own 46. Well, a scoring update to pass along to you. Plano has gone up 17-7 on Plano West tonight. Third quarter action with 1:48 to go in the third quarter. How about this? Not only the surprising score, Plano West on offense is averaging close to 600 yards a game, 77 yards tonight, 2 first downs. Soso Jamambo, 10 carries, 50 yards. This punt comes down to the 20-yard line, and it'll roll dead there. Plano East will take over first down and 10 at their own 20. Well, I didn't see that one coming tonight.
No.
What's happening at Plano West. They do not have much time left either. That one is the closing moments of the third quarter.
Yeah, certainly not out of the realm of possibility, though. Plano West, we've seen them do some amazing things offensively. And anytime you have a player like Sosa Jamambo who just absolutely piles up numbers, anytime you get the ball in his hands, he is dangerous. We've seen him go 60, 70, 80, 90. Had a 93-yard touchdown run earlier in the season. So this, he's a guy that can take it to the house at any given moment. So not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Little different story over here at Kimbrough Stadium, though, I hate to say.
It has been all McKinney Boyd tonight, 29-3. Plano East has the football. Miles Thompson, the quarterback. Buchanan, the H-back, set to the left. Handoff, Douglas started left. Now darts his way back to the right side. Nowhere to go. It's actually Trey Hunter who was in the backfield. Hunter actually turns nothing into something. Gains about 3 yards, does the freshman. It was just brought up from the JV back in week 3 against Flowerman. Went for 137 yards that night on 21 carries.
Yeah, what a bright future for this young man. Just a freshman, 5'10", 170 pounds. So, this kid's still got some growing to do. I mean, he could potentially be 6'1", 6'2", 200, 205 by the time he, grows a little bit. He could be Soso Jamambo size. He's a kid that clearly has a lot of talent. So the future is very, very bright for this Plano Panthers offense behind the legs of Trey Hunter.
Thompson throws near sideline. Pass is caught by Laheen Omlani. And that is enough for a first down. I'll move it to the 35-yard line. Plano East tonight has shown some life offensively. They've just not been able to finish off drives. For Miles Thompson tonight, that is his 7th completion of the evening. 153 yards of offense tonight. Here's a snap back out of the shotgun. Snap is low. Thompson has nothing to do but just to find the football and fall on it. Back at the 26. Snowed under there by 3 white jerseys. Leading the way was McKinney Boyd's Justice Haggerty off the right side.
And we mentioned penalties for Plano East just being a killer. At this point, 14 penalties, 146 yards. You're talking about a football field and a half just in penalties through 3 quarters. That's, you just can't do that against a mediocre team and hope to win. You certainly can't do it against a very, very game McKinney Boyd squad.
2nd and 17 in the gun. Miles Thompson, pressure coming. He is taken down in the backfield, and it was Ross Matisic who was there to bring him down. Team leader in nearly every defensive category, tackles and sacks and tackles for losses. There he gets a sack, and it brings up a 3rd down and 22.
And again, 3rd and a mile here for Plano East. And again, I think if I'm Plano East, you've got to get something going on offense. I think you just try and throw it up to Audio Matosho, let him make a play, and hopefully you don't get what happened to him last time. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, where you get the penalty you wanted that would have converted the 1st down, and then have it picked up by the officials.
Pass over the middle, caught at the 35-yard line, stumbling down at the 39. That'll leave Plano East a good 7 yards shy of a 1st down. Cameron Moore there across the middle to make the catch. And so it will leave Plano East, would actually be a 4th down, 4th down and 7. That will bring their punt crew on. Landis Durham to punt this one away. Dedrick Scrivens will be back to receive. Inside 10 minutes to go in this one. 29-3 all Boyd tonight.
Plano East, this is a team that hasn't looked very good tonight. The penalties have really killed them, but they've got such a bright future. A lot of very, very solid players on this football team, and a lot of them juniors. I mean, if you look at that offensive line, you've got your starting center, Dane Cordell's just a junior. Your left guard, Cole Moore, he's just a junior. Miles Thompson, your quarterback's just a junior. You've got Mikla Smalls as well, who is just a sophomore, I believe. So, you got a lot of quality athletes.
Booming punt off of the foot of Landis Durham, and then Dedrick Scrivens takes it to the 15 and weaves and winds his way through that defensive unit of Plano East all the way down to the 50-yard line. Nice return there by Scrivens. Now we'll give McKinney Boyd a 1st down and 10 right at midfield. 9:13 to go in this one.
Yeah, in addition to the guys we just mentioned, you've got Audio Matosha, who's just a junior, Cameron Moore, just a sophomore, Zadok Wilson, just a junior. Basically, the entire receiving crew, they're all juniors except Cameron Moore. He's a sophomore. Carson Young, a junior. Tim Wilson, a junior. And then you've got Trey Hunter, who we just talked about a moment ago, who's just a freshman. So the future is very, very bright for this Plano East team. They are going to be something to contend with here over these next few seasons.
McKinney Boyd with the football, 1st and 10 right at midfield on the far hash mark. And a handoff straight ahead to Brandon Bowling. Spins out of a tackle and brought down at the 47-yard line by Austin Corbett. Now this is a Plano East team that will turn around and play Plano next Friday night, John Clark Stadium. A historic rivalry game between those two. McKinney Boyd will have next week off, a well-deserved week off, having already gone through a gauntlet of a schedule. Plano West and Allen already knocked off of their schedule. Here's a handoff to Bowling. Stretch play outside. Nowhere to go. Run out of bounds. Pushed out by Alante Williams, the corner. Loss of 1 to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, and you make an interesting point there, Reagan. McKinney Boyd already basically had the 2 or 3 hardest teams in the district. Now they get a bye week. They get to rest up, and they've made it through that gauntlet that you just mentioned without a lot of injuries. So look out for McKinney Boyd. This is a team that a lot of people predicted 2nd, 3rd, 4th in this district, and they've got a very, very good chance behind the arm of Grant Ressmeyer. Dedrick Scrivens, of course, he is a solid running back. Get a week to rest up, and then, come out and see what you can do for the last 6-7 weeks of the season.
3rd and 8, Ressmeyer to throw, pressure coming, escapes, rolls to his right, looking, throws, pass is caught at the, dropped just at the 38-yard line. It was into the hands of Brandon Bowling, could not hang on to it. Jeremiah Campbell on that far side. It's incomplete. Be a 4th down and 8, and Boyd will have to punt this one away.
And Grant Ressmeyer, you saw the strength of his arm right there. I mean, he threw a bullet about 35 yards down the field, enough to where Jeremiah Campbell couldn't even get his hands on it. It went right through his hands and then ended up bouncing up on the track on the far sideline. But I like Grant Ressmeyer. I think he throws a good ball. He's got good size, 6'4", 190. Just a junior. Don't be shocked to see him maybe getting some letters from some colleges starting next year. I like what he brings to the table.
Andrew Smith to punt this one from just inside his own 40-yard line. This one will come down at the 24 and stop right there. Bounce back towards that McKinney Boyd oncoming defenders, and it's put down at the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 here for Plano East with 8:18 to go. 4th quarter, 29-3 McKinney Boyd. Keeping you posted on that Plano West game tonight. Plano with a 17-7 lead. That is late 3rd quarter. Plano West on the move. They do have it at their 44-yard line. They have held Soso Jamambo tonight well under his average. Jemamo, 53 yards. The guy's averaging about
250 a game.
Unbelievable. Here's a pass to Sievert, far side. Pass is caught a quick slant for 31.
Yeah, I would say that's well below his average.
250 yards under his average.
Yeah, we saw his 484-yard, 6-touchdown performance a few weeks back. So, a guy that he can do it all. And, yeah, well below the season average is an understatement. If you've kept him under about 180, you've done a great job.
There's Miles Thompson, started left, comes back right now, darts his way back to his left. There's just nowhere to go. There are white jerseys just everywhere when he looked up. He's running out of bounds, gain of maybe 1. Be a 3rd down and 3.
And what a job this McKinney Boyd defensive unit and defensive coordinator J.W. Pate have done tonight. They're playing without one of their best defensive players in Ramon Reedus, last year's District 10 5A newcomer of the year. He's been out all season. They've done a great job here tonight. Braden McFadden, Ross Matisick, Kyle Seamus, Noah Prater, Braden Webb, Ron DeBuey. They have done a great job all the way around. Joshua Stewart up front, the big nose tackle, the 6 foot, 220-pound senior. These guys have done an outstanding job all night long against this Plano East offense. And this is an offense that has some playmakers.
Hand off. There's just nowhere to go this time. They came on inside blitz and stuffed in the backfield, loss of 3. Hard to say if that was Jaquan Douglas or Trey Hunter. You just had no time to see who it was as the heat was coming. And it was Ron DeBoo there from the inside linebacker spot. It was Trey Hunter, the freshman, who was just blasted in the backfield. Bring up a 4th down and 7. And now Landis Durham, that right leg of his is getting worn out tonight. He'll go back to punt it again inside his own 15-yard line.
Yeah, he may need some deep tissue work on that right thigh. He has definitely been utilized and then some tonight. So
headed to A&M, defensive end. He booms this one high into the night sky. It'll come down to 33 and actually roll back. It's down at the 35-yard line. So McKinney Boyd will have it 1st down and 10 at their own 35. 6:51 to go, 4th quarter. 29-3. McKinney Boyd well out in front. Boyd will look as though that they will get to 3-3, and Plano East, barring a miracle tonight, would fall to 1-4.
I got to say, that's certainly something you don't see very often. Your defensive end that's 6'3", 230 pounds, that's committed to Texas A&M, also as your punter.
Yeah,
that's something that's probably not seen a lot of.
1st down and 10 here for McKinney Boyd. Scrivens in the pistol. Back to pass to Restmeyer. Pass complete. Far sideline escaping 1, 2 tackles. And all the way across 1st down marker 45 to the 47 goes Jeremiah Campbell. We're talking about Landis Durham, the punter. They were talking with Joey McCullough before tonight's game. It was actually that they brought up from the junior varsity and Trooper Elwanger, who's a junior, a backup quarterback who was called up with a broken hand there to Miklos Smalls, who's been lost. Who suffered that broken bone in his hand 2 weeks ago against Plano West. They brought up Elwanger, but there's a quick pass and it's incomplete, looking for Bowling in the flats. It's bring up a 2nd down and 10. But Joey McCullough talked about he's a drop back passer, big tall kid, but talks about how long his limbs are. Said he's a big time punter. Could be a Division I punter here in a couple of years. He's just a junior right now. So Elwanger, the backup quarterback, may have a chance to see him here in the waning moments of this one.
Trooper Elwanger. Say that 3 times fast. I'll buy your dinner.
2nd down and 10. I'm going to have to give that a shot. Here's a handoff to Scrivens. In and out of tackle. Started left, now back to his right. Still on his feet, run out of bounds. What do you know? Here's flags at the 48. The play goes long enough. You can count on some flags being thrown. Boy, you would think it went that long. Somebody's got to be holding. Trooper Elwanger, Trooper Elwanger, Trooper Elwanger.
All right. You got it. Next week, partner.
Not saying it was on Trooper. I'm just trying to earn myself a dinner.
Hey, there you go, man. Hey, speaking of, they gave us some good grub here tonight. They always take care of us over here in Plano. I like that.
Absolutely. Whether you're at Clark Stadium, Kimbrough Stadium, they do things right. We appreciate it. Penalty is on McKinney Boyd.
Man, you got to love Chick-fil-A too, right?
Yeah.
Man, it seems like every time I ever want Chick-fil-A, it's always Sunday.
Yes.
Does this happen to you?
That's right, yeah, I know.
Man, I could go for a chicken sandwich. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. And then I'll look and it's like,
take a rain check on
Sunday.
that. That's right. They hooked us up right tonight.
Yep.
It wasn't the old number one. I mean, you got the salad, the chicken strips, the chicken wrap.
Thing.
My goodness.
Fruit.
2nd down and 20. Here's a handoff Up the middle to Scrivens to the 41. Met there by Anthony Hicks, and that will bring up a third down, and extremely long here. Strong third down, about 15 here for Boyd. 5:55 to go in this one. 29-3 Boyd, well out in front. You know, Plano West is trying to knock on the door. They've got it down to the 25-yard line. Here in the fourth quarter, down 17-7. Here's Ressmeyer to throw in the gun. He'll have to escape and got to lean forward there for a couple of yards. Plano East tonight has had some good push from that front four. Here's a flag thrown in the secondary, making him think that something called on a defensive back, and what it looks to be Jordan Williams. He's making a pretty good case for himself. Had his hands up, and it's going to be called, looks like, on that corner. Maybe some kind of defensive holding in the secondary, which would be only fitting for tonight's game. It is defensive holding. Plano East upwards over 100 yards penalties tonight, well over 100. You mentioned those numbers a while ago. Now it would be over 150 yards. That's going to get it to the 49 of Plano East to bring up third down and 5.
I can tell you that, back in my playing days, if we had 200 yards worth of penalties in a game, I mean, there was going to be a lot of wind sprints going on in that Monday practice. And, you know what, I can almost assure you that the Plano East Panthers are going to be doing a lot of conditioning probably on Monday with the penalties they've piled up tonight. I mean, you just can't beat good teams or even average teams with the number of penalties they've had tonight. And it's one of those things that they really need to grow as an offense and as a defensive unit and as a team. Really, they've got a lot of youth, and this is a game that they really need to look at and say, okay, we can't make these kinds of mistakes if we want to keep moving up as a team.
Third down and 2, inside give, first down running right there. Across the 45 to the 44 goes Scrivens, move the chains with 5:10 to go. Well, Plano West may be in trouble. They were not able to connect on a Parker Davidson 47-yard field goal, so 11:04 to go fourth quarter. Plano has the football, and now Plano West is on the ropes. Down 17-7 over at Clark Stadium tonight.
Still plenty of time left, 17-7. That's doable.
There's going to be some coaches in the area that want to see that tape on Plano, what they did defensively tonight.
You betcha. Yep. They'll be getting calls from everywhere wanting that. I want to see it.
Unbelievable. After seeing Jamambo for 4 games, that Plano West offense. Here's Ressmeyer running option far side, nowhere to go. Gain of maybe 1 yard. Austin Corbett was there, along with Michael McNair, and it's second down and 9.
And, this may seem like a blowout for McKinney Boyd, and they may just seem like they're going through the motions here trying to kill the clock, and that's exactly what they're doing, but they do need to maintain, they really need to try and keep their heads about them here and really understand that, they may have to try and kill the clock later on in the season in a close ball game. And so you can't just go through the motions. You've got to take this very seriously and learn from it and maintain a level of commitment to holding your blocks and things like that, even late in a blowout like this.
Man down for Plano East in the secondary. Everybody's taking a knee. 29-3 the score. McKinney Boyd with the lead. Clock stopped at 4:23 to go in this one. And Boyd again on the move, looking for more. It appears to be not a man in the secondary, but one of those key linebackers. And Anthony Hines, who is being aided off, kind of hobbling, really gingerly looks like on that right foot. And so Hines comes off, and that's not a guy for Joey McCullough. You don't want to see anybody hurt.
No.
Boy, Hines he has a stud written all over him. 6'2", 220 sophomore. We talked about the offers he's had from all over the country. Put him and Diepenbrock, those 2 sophomore linebackers. There are some talented linebackers in this district. Wamed Sanogo, sophomore linebacker at Plano West. But Joey McCullough really high on the youth of this team. Hines and Diepenbrock. And got a veteran front line in Landis Durham, the senior, Deion Davis, Trayvon Ransom, all seniors. Likes what he has in that linebacking core. Austin Corbett, a senior. He's a guy that, talk about how about the offers that he has coming in. Harvard, Yale, Air Force, SMU.
Sharp kid.
Well, no doubt.
You definitely can't wear the dunce cap to go to any of those places, that's for sure.
comes a counter play and a handoff to Scrivens. Finds his way into the secondary to the 30. Angling far sideline. 25-20. Runs out of bounds at the 13. First down for Boyd with 3:43 now on the clock.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun district to watch as far as some linebackers go over the next few seasons. You know, you've got Grayson Diebenbrock and Anthony Hines, the third, both sophomores on this team, and then you mentioned Wamed Sanogo, the sophomore linebacker for Plano West. You know, I mean, sophomore linebackers, I mean, you know, they don't grow on trees. I mean, you've got to be a real world-class football player to start as a sophomore at linebacker in District 6-6A. And, I mean, you know, you're already seeing Anthony Hines apparently has gotten more than 50 offers from major programs as a sophomore, so you can tell that he is the real deal.
Handoff. They were showing pressure off the right side. A handoff to Scrivens. He runs away from it. Gets out of bounds far sideline. Nice pick up there by Scrivens. Inside the 10. He gets to about the 8.5-yard line. And so, again, here comes the McKinney Boyd offense. Scratching and clawing their way closer to that end zone. 29-3. They lead with 3:35 to go in this one. For Scrivens tonight, he is over the 100-yard mark. 31 carries, 121 yards, pair of touchdowns. He went for 201 last year against Plano East. 3-3 stacked defensive look for the Panthers. Handoff Scrivens. And he is stacked up in the backfield, nowhere to go, kind of dancing around, shuffling, and had just nowhere to go. He's backed up all the way to the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up a third down and make it, or excuse me, second down. Boy, I'm lost there. They've got down marker at third down. It is third down and 5.
And Anthony Hines, we saw him limp off the field just a moment ago. We talked about him, the sophomore linebacker. He's down on the training table. They've got his right shoe and sock off, and looks like they're working on that right ankle area. So I would imagine with less than 3 minutes to go in this game, I think his night is probably over. No reason to send him back in with this game well under wraps for McKinney Boyd.
Third down and 5. Handoff to Scrivens, and his hat is spun. Gain of maybe 1. Michael Alleman was there, and boy, did he ever put a hit on Scrivens. Scrivens has not gotten up yet. That was a monster hit from the linebacker on Scrivens, and he is down on his backside at the 9-yard line with the clock stopped with 2:37 to go. And he is trying to get up. He's got his helmet off, kind of hunched over there. He is going to walk off on his own accord, which is a good thing to see because I'm telling you, he took a mammoth shot.
Yeah, well, you know, it looks as if he maybe just got his bell rung a little bit, but you hate to see that, especially late in a blowout-type game that, you know, you certainly don't want to get your stud running back hurt in garbage time, and that's essentially what this is, 29-3 with less than 3 minutes left. I mean, I understand you want to try and get your guy his yards, but, you know, no reason to push it.
That now puts Brandon Bowling in the backfield. 2-back set. Keaton Livingston is the H-back. Receiver set to either side. Jacob Cantrell is the slot. Handoff Bowling. Tries to find some running room off left tackle. Nowhere to go. Met at the 9-yard line. That was a 4th down and 2. And then I'll turn the ball over to Plano East with 2:13 to go in this one. 29-3. All McKinney Boyd tonight.
Yep. You said it, partner. Not much else you can say. It has been all McKinney Boyd. That third quarter just, I mean, I think you said earlier it was just a nightmare of a third quarter for Plano East. And couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, the game turned so quickly there in the third that East offensively, and, you know, we talked about this in that first half when they started to get down early, you know, this team is not built to come from way behind. You know, they've got to get an early lead. This is a team that is going to have to, they're going to have to win dogfights. They're not going to come from behind 21 points in the fourth quarter. They're not Allen. You know, they can't score fast.
There's a handoff straight ahead. Not much running room there for Jaquan Douglas. Gain of a couple. I'll give him 4, actually. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Now, they're a team that built around their running game. They've got to win the battle in the trenches up front. And at times tonight they were able to do that, just were not able to finish drives. Penalties hurt them tonight.
Badly.
Boy, the backbreaker tonight was in the third quarter, the fumble. Keith Livingston takes it 50 yards for a touchdown. And that was that. Here's a handoff to Douglas. Started right, and he is carried to fit by the, swarm of white jerseys, carrying back to the right, to the left side. Loss of 3. Inside a minute and a half to go now. It'll be a 3rd down and 8. Again, that score you want to keep an eye on, Plano West, 17-7. Plano with the lead. Plano West is knocking on the door. They are down to the 31-yard line of Plano. They have held Soso Jamambo well in check tonight. Jamambo just 60 yards rushing. Plano West offensively 134. That's an offensive crew that's averaged close to 600 yards of offense per game this year.
And I'm with you. I really want to see some footage of that game. I really, would like to talk to somebody that was there watching that one and just see exactly what they did defensively to bottle up Soso Jamambo, because they have run that read option offense to perfection all year this year. In 4 games, they've piled up yardage offensively. Robert Comeri and Soso Jamambo have both been so outstanding running that offense. I'm curious to see what kind of defense they threw at them tonight. And like you said, whatever it was, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be trying to get their hands on footage from that one tonight.
Trooper L. Wonger was at the quarterback position. He was one down the right sideline. It's incomplete. Landis Durham will come on to punt. 4th down and 5. 42 seconds to go. 29-3 McKinney Boyd.
If you ever get a chance to talk to Trooper, make sure you let him know that he won you a free dinner.
That's right.
Well, now, don't break me or anything. We're not doing any like Del Frisco's or
like
any of that stuff.
Chick-fil-A in it.
Yeah. Just call me on a Sunday. I'll take you right over there.
That's right. That's a win-win for you, huh?
That's right. Yeah, well, maybe
sure, I'll buy you dinner. Yeah,
on the border or something, maybe.
There you go.
We're not doing any of this like Del Frisco's or none of that.
Is that steakhouse that we saw on the way in tonight?
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Yeah, there you go. I think you're out of my price range again. Outback, maybe.
There we go. There
you go. Let me get you some Outback. I hear they have that bloomin' onion on special. I get you a bloomin' onion and
an Outback special.
That's right. It's the old bloomin' onion.
I'll take you up on it.
All right. Anytime.
I'll tell Trooper all about it.
We can take him too.
All right. I'm sure he'd love to go.
You bet. Those high school kids, none of them have any money.
That's right.
I remember being in high school. I didn't have any. Loved a free meal.
Landis Durham's going to punt it away. Nobody's back there to receive it. Durham from his own goal line. This is going to have, this may go into the record books here. This is going to roll all the way at the 20, inside the 10, down to the 9.
That's a big punt there, Chief.
That may be your play of the game right there for Plano East. That was some kind of punt. Of course, nobody was back there to receive it.
Got a little help from the artificial turf as well. I remember when Arlington and some of those teams used to, they still do play over at the University of Texas at Arlington, but that turf back in the day, it was pure concrete. There were spots in it that you could actually see the concrete under the turf. That punt just then, that thing would have rolled all the way to DFW Airport if it would have hit on that concrete that they used to have over there at UTA. But
77 yards is what it goes down officially.
That's crazy how nice this turf is nowadays, isn't it?
I
remember, when it used to be like true AstroTurf.
Yeah.
That stuff was so thin. I can't believe anybody ever played on it.
Come away with all sorts of carpet burns.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised more people didn't break bones and stuff on it.
Ressmeyer is going to take a knee. That's going to do it. Clock will tick down from 10 all the way down to 0. 29-3. McKinney Boyd wins this one tonight. They improved to 3-3, 2-2 in district. They will have their off week next week, and Plano East falls to 1-4. And boy, I tell you what, they've got their hands full next week against a Plano team that is just looking at it now. Tell you what, we got a ball game there. Robert Comeri just takes one in for a touchdown, 17-14. So I'll tell you what, we'll keep you posted on that one. We'll take a short break here. We come back. The Road Boss post-game show is coming up next. 29-3, our final score here. McKinney Boyd with the commanding win tonight over Plano East. You've been listening to the Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
29-3 tonight. Final score: McKinney Boyd all over Plano East. The Boyd Broncos get to 3-3, 2-2 in district. Plano East now 1-4 and 1-2 in District 6-6A action. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight back at Kimbrough Stadium. We welcome you into the Rodenbaugh's post-game show. Tell you how it all happened tonight. Scoring summary. We'll take you through the statistics and also update you on scores across the Metroplex here tonight in the post-game show. And Eli, let's take it through the scoring summary tonight. It was McKinney Boyd from start to finish.
Yeah, all McKinney Boyd. You just had the lone field goal from Plano East, but a 29-3 final here tonight. The scoring got started early for McKinney Boyd. 9:17 remaining in the first quarter. Dedrick Scrivens with a 3-yard touchdown run. The PAT was blocked, so a 6-0 lead at that point. Plano East answered with a field goal about 7 minutes later. Henry Matson, a 43-yard field goal. That made it a 6-3 game for McKinney Boyd. Boyd scores with 1:06 left there in the first quarter, and Andrew Smith, 26-yard boot, makes it a 9-3 McKinney Boyd lead. There in the second quarter with 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Dedrick Scrivens, after that long drive there from McKinney Boyd. Scrivens with a 2-yard touchdown dive. The 2-point conversion attempt was no good. That's where we stood at halftime with a 15-3 McKinney Boyd advantage. In the third quarter, Boyd punches a couple of touchdowns in, starting about a minute and a half into that third quarter. The Keaton Livingston 54-yard fumble return, the Andrew Smith kick, was up and good, and that's really where the tide turned. And then McKinney Boyd with a late touchdown there, 4 minutes 11 seconds left in the third quarter. Cassidy Woods, a 36-yard touchdown reception from Grant Restmeyer. The Andrew Smith PAT was true as well, and that's where we ended it. No scoring at all to speak of in that fourth quarter. A 29-3 final. McKinney Boyd, they take it here tonight, and it was all Boyd from start to finish, just like you said.
We talked about the statistics at the half and how, even though the score was well in favor of Boyd at that time, 15-3, the statistics looked fairly in balance between the two teams. Not a stark difference that McKinney Boyd was just running away with it. And you look at the statistics even now in McKinney Boyd's favor, but they didn't run away with it. And there was one area that really stood out with the penalty yardages tonight for Plano East. But take a look at the statistics tonight, still in favor of McKinney Boyd as they get the victory. Yeah,
you mentioned that, and like you said, it's not just lopsided in McKinney Boyd's favor. It certainly doesn't lend to what you would think would be a 29-3 win. Plano East hung tough as far as statistics go. Total yards, McKinney Boyd with 229. The Panthers with 171 first downs. McKinney Boyd 14. East with 10. 124 rushing yards for the Broncos offense, just 83 for the Panthers. As far as passing yards, 105 for the Broncos, and then just 16 passing yards for Plano East. That's really where they just could not get anything done, was through the air here tonight. And if you look at it, once again, you go all the way down to that penalty yardage. I mean, just brutal. Plano East, they did have a couple of fumbles as well. They lost both of those, including the one that was returned for a touchdown, and that really turned the tides back in McKinney Boyd's favor as Plano East was trying to get something going there to start that second half, and it was basically over from there. But penalty yards, absolutely brutal tonight for Plano East. 14 penalties, 114 yards, and then for McKinney Boyd, 8 penalties for 80 yards. So a very heavily penalized game. You don't see a lot of teams that get penalized 8 times for 80 yards and aren't even close to the other team's penalty yards. 6 more penalties for Plano East, and you just can't do that. You can't turn the ball over, and you can't commit penalties. And really, we talked about the statistics, and everything was relatively similar until you get all the way down to those to the turnovers and to the penalties. Plano East lost 2 fumbles. One of them goes for a touchdown, and then 14 penalties for 114 yards. You're not going to beat many good teams if you turn the ball over and if you commit that many penalties, and you're certainly not going to beat a team the caliber of the Broncos. So those are your stats.
29-3. McKinney Boyd with the victory tonight. They get to 3-3 overall, 2-2 in district, and a well-deserved off week coming up for them. Plano East, they've got the work cut out for them. 1-4, 1-2 in district now, and the Plano Wildcats are on the horizon next week at Clark Stadium. We will take a break. Speaking of those Plano Wildcats, we'll get you an update on their game against Plano West tonight over at Clark Stadium. It's
a good one, huh?
It is a good one, and it's in the final moments. We'll tell you all about it, as well as some other scores from across the area. Southlake Carroll and Coppell tonight in a heated battle as well over at Dragon Stadium. We'll tell you about that, wrap up those scores for you, and tell you about our next broadcast coming up. That's all coming up next here on the Road Boss Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano East Panthers football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
29-3 final score tonight. McKinney Boyd with the win over Plano East. Boyd Broncos now 3-3 overall, 2-2 in district. Plano East at 1-4 and 1-2 in District 6-6A play. And as we wrap things up here on the Rodenbaugh's post-game show, a lot of great games going across the Metroplex tonight. Some big games in District 6-6A. And, Eli, you've got to look at them.
Oh, let's do it, my friend. Let's check out some of those games. What do you say? And, of course, we got the big one.
There you go.
The big one across town. And that one is something else, 17-14. Is that still the score? That's what you've got?
Right. That's what I've got.
You're checking it out. Okay. Plano up 17-14 on Plano West. That is a District 6-6A matchup that has major implications. We will see how that one ends up. Hopefully we can get you a final before we go off the air. Other District 6-6A action, we have got Flower Mound Marcus 24-7. That game in the fourth quarter over Flower Mound, so that game winding to an end as well. That's it for District 6-6A for tonight. A lot of teams on bye this week. Let's get you some other scores. How about District 4-6A? You've got Arlington Bowie. They trail Arlington Lamar 38-41. Bowie trails that game by 3 in the fourth quarter. You've got Arlington Martin all over Sam Houston 40-12. That game also in the fourth. District 5-6A, Denton Geyer 43-33 winners over Justin Northwest. Denton Ryan 17-13 final up at Denton's C.H. Collins Athletic Complex. They handed to Trophy Club Byron Nelson tonight. They win by 4 there. Keller Fossil Ridge up 41-7. That game is late in the fourth quarter there. District 7-5A, you've got South Lake Carroll. Fourth quarter, they lead 28-24 over Capel, a game that we knew would be close. I had a feeling South Lake Carroll was going to pull that out, but thought it would be a close game. So Euless Trinity all over Halton, 41-0 the final there. District 8-6A, Cedar Hill upends Midlothian 56-20 tonight. South Grand Prairie over at the Gopher Warrior Bowl. They are all over Duncanville, 31-9, that game late in the fourth quarter. District 9-6A, Irving MacArthur, 42-10 winners over Irving. Irving Nimitz, 42-7 over Sunset. You've got Skyline, that game is late in the fourth quarter, 56-30. They have out-athleted Jesuit tonight. I mentioned that in the pregame show. Skyline up 56-30 there late in that one. W.T. White, 27 over Carrollton R.L. Turner. That one 27-25 in the fourth. District 10-6A, Highland Park 56-0 all over Richardson Pierce. That game is a final. Mesquite 56-14 over Lake Highlands. That one is late in the fourth quarter. Mesquite Horn 62, Richardson Berkner 12. That game is all said and done over there at Wildcat Rams Stadium. North Mesquite 14, Richardson 9, the final there. District 11-6A, you've got Garland and Rowlett all tied up in the fourth, 21 all. You've got Rockwall 71, Garland, Naaman, Forest 14. That game is a final. District 5-5A, Fort Worth Boswell. They trail right now at Denton in the fourth quarter, 47-43, Boswell behind. Grapevine 45-0 over Fort Worth Poly from District 6-5A. District 9-5A, Frisco Heritage 38, Frisco 35 in a barn burner. They win that one. Frisco Centennial 55-7 over Frisco Independence. The Colony, they win tonight over Frisco Lone Star 34-21. And Frisco Wakeland all over Little Elm this evening, 42-6 the final there. District 10-5A, Lucas Lovejoy, they hand it to Sherman 64-7 the final. All these games are in the fourth quarter. You've got Denison over McKinney 28-27, McKinney North 43-19 over Prosper, and Wiley East is ahead of Wiley 35-21. Again, all those games are in the fourth. Just a couple more scores. Let's get you here. District 12-5A, Forney 48, South Garland 14, West Mesquite 35, Mesquite Poteet 31. That game late in the fourth. Rockwall Heath, they lead 21-19 over Terrell in the fourth quarter. That'll wrap up our out-of-town scoreboard. Any update on the Plano West?
2:13 to go in that one, fourth quarter. Plano with the football at the 36-yard line of Plano West, facing a second down and 7. Tell you a big key play there. It was third down and 14. Looked like Plano West had a chance to get the football back. Brandon Stevens, who's having a huge night, 16-yard carry on a 3rd and 14. Gets the first down, keeps the drive alive. How about this comparison tonight? Never saw this coming. Brandon Stevens, 38 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Compare that to Soso Jamambo's 14 carries, 60 yards. Robert Comeri also struggled tonight through the air, 6 of 13, 73 yards. So there's a upset on the horizon, I think, tonight for the Plano Wildcats. Set up a big game next week for Plano West on the road at Marcus. And for Plano, look out. They've already played Allen They will play Plano West, and now they've got Plano East coming up next week. That's a team that could be your. If things all in today, they would be maybe your number 2 team out of the District 6-6A.
It's going to be a wild finish. I can tell you that.
Oh, no question. No question. Our final score here tonight, though, 29-3, McKinney Boyd with the convincing win over Plano East. Our next broadcast will come to you next Friday night. For Plano East, they will be over at Clark Stadium to take on the Plano Wildcats, a historic rivalry game there. On the air with a pregame show on that night at 7 o'clock next Friday and kickoff at 7:30. I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors tonight. Rodenbaugh's, Flooring America and Appliances, Flat Shell, and Buford Roofing and Construction. From our broadcast partner, Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. This has been a production of Champion Sports Radio in conjunction with SportsSoundsRadio.com. Until next time, good night and God bless.
This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.